I know you can't see anything. I am here. Hold on. Let me try and fix this. It's only when I'm in a bad mood that, you know, everything just stops working. You know? Oh, are you serious? This really isn't gonna work. Okay, this might be a stream where you only hear my voice. Hold on. I literally don't know what the problem is. Let me just go and remove that. Okay, that's plugged in. Now let's add a video source. There we go. All right. Hello, beautiful people. Well, that didn't improve my mood right there. Jesus Christ. I just got it going, and then 5 seconds in, my computer crashes. That was not exactly good omens right there. Maybe my computer was like, stop being a whiny little bitch. Don't do another stream where you're complaining about something. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. When I'm upset about something, I need to vent it out. If I don't, it literally eats me alive. I'm not kidding. The past, you know, almost 24 hours since I watched that episode, I have physically felt ill, and I don't think that's going to change until I discuss it, like, you know, get it out of my system. I mean, I will say, I think that episode will always, those two episodes, they will always disgust me, like actually disgust me to the point where I cannot watch them again. I am gonna try my absolute best to actually edit the 7th episode for y'all so you can see my reaction to it. I am not making you any promises though. I genuinely, like, there's so much racing through my head right now. It's kind of hard to like put it into words. And don't worry, we'll break it all down. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about within the next like 20 minutes. It's just, like, I don't know how else to describe this feeling of just like, like I feel like there is something crawling under my fucking skin. Like I have never been affected by a piece of media this way before. And I've seen a fucking Serbian film. Like, I don't know how to describe exactly how much I hated 2 or 3 things that happened in those 2 episodes of Raised by Wolves. Like, I'm not being sarcastic. I am not making a joke. It was, okay, sorry, I haven't been looking at the chat. Let me do that. Let me also change the exposure on this, because for some reason, whenever it does this on its own, it makes everything look green. There we go, that looks better. Maybe a little too, you know, pink and orange, but whatever. Okay. Oh, thanks, Remy. You were trying to get me into Raised by Wolves, and now you changed it up. I did not. I had no way of anticipating how much I would dislike what happened in the future of the show. I don't think there was any indication that these things were a possibility. And on that note, I think kind of bad writing in certain circumstances. But again, we're gonna really jump into this because I can't wait to just post the episodes and get people's discussion there. Like, I need to discuss this now. It's actually upsetting me a lot. But yes, hey everyone. It is episode 6 and episode 7 of Raised by Wolves. Both of those combined, it disgusted me. Like, it actually disgusted me. You see, Rami, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking that to myself all day. I'm like, you've always said film is something that emotionally affects you one way or another. Doesn't matter how it does it, but like, does it really affect you? And I have to say, I think this is the most I have ever been affected by a show. Like, actually ruined my entire day. The whole day I have been in a terrible mood because of that shit. Normally, like, I immerse myself in TV shows and movies all the time, to the, like, much more so than most people do. Most people just kind of, keep that screen in between them and what's happening, so even if something bad happens, you're just like, oh no, oh well, and then you move on with your life. I don't know why, but I am so, like, immersed, invested in what happened in those 2 episodes. Like, I can't escape it. It is literally following me to work and, like, into my friends and family and stuff. I cannot shake how much that fucked with me. Worse than Game of Thrones last season? Well, you see, Game of Thrones last season was just shitty writing. This, I think there's a debate to be made about shitty writing for a couple reasons, but I think you could also make an argument that this writing could be fucking genius. I don't know about that. I think you can make an argument that the writing is fine, but I am starting to think that this show is just not going to deliver the way everyone wants it to. Specifically for a line that was said by Grandmother at the end of that episode. Which, by the way, Grandmother, that's a super highlight of the show for me. She's fucking cool. I'm scared of her, but she's fucking cool. But I said the same thing about the snake, and oh my god, I do not feel that way anymore. Not even, I'm getting the chills again. Like, it makes me shake to think about it. I hate what happened there. I really, really hate. Just speaking for myself, I really hate what happened. It was still a good show, and I want to know how they end it. I don't know if I want to know how they end it after that being a part of the story. Like, I really don't know if I want to know. I feel like I'm not going to like what that ending is. Like, I feel like it's going to make me feel worse than I already do, which is why I don't know if I want to watch the finale. But I also don't want to miss out on an opportunity for them to drastically fix 2 things specifically that happened. They fixed the Tempest baby situation. I will give them credit for that. Alright, we'll jump in. Episode 6. First issue I had where I was like, holy shit, I genuinely think that's too far. And that was with Tempest. Like, I think it was already plenty bad enough. She has been raped and forced to carry this baby to term after trying to fucking kill herself at one point. And then ultimately is about to give birth to this baby and then toss it into the ocean. Which I was like, oh my god, that is so fucked. But I think it makes sense for the character. I think it was an intense, really impactful scene. I loved it. And then the fucking Myrrh thing showed up, and I was like, what are we doing right now? And I understand the baby wasn't fucking eaten, but to put her through that after everything I just said, I think that is gratuitous. Gratuitous to the point where I'm like, you literally could have done that scene with any other random woman and her baby. It still would have been fucked up and scary and body horror galore, because now we know that they were, like, slowly changing the children inside them, which is I hate that. I hate body horror. Like, y'all seem to be like, oh, body horror is whatever. I'm like, no, I can't not feel body horror, if that makes sense. Like, when someone gets stabbed in a show, I'm like, I don't feel it. I might go like, ooh, ow. Like, I can sort of, like, sympathize with that pain. Body horror, I'm not lying when I say I feel it. Like, it feels like it is happening to me, and I cannot deal with it. I cannot deal with it. But I had an issue with that moment, not really for the body horror aspect of it. That was pretty bad, but I was like, okay. I hate that, but I think it's personally kind of bad writing, because again, it is just so fucking gratuitous to do that to Tempest's character. Also, for her to be the only like major black woman on the show, exempting grandmother who has now joined the fold, I don't know. I think that was a poor decision, poor writing, and it really fucked me up. I didn't like it. But let me read some comments. That was the first issue I had, the Tempest baby situation. I am very glad they rectified it in the next episode. Not a huge fan of the fact that she was like, oh, I can't love it, even though she did have a moment where it seemed like she was good when she gave birth, but whatever. Anyway, let me read this. This went from an amazing show by Ridley Scott to something straight out of CW or Sci-Fi. You see, I am kind of getting that vibe too. At first I was like, oh my god, there's so much stuff happening in every single episode. This is cool. But after these last two, I'm like, it's nonsensical though. Like there is no rhyme or reason to fucking any of this. Like there is no way they are going to explain this shit to any of us. Like there is no way. And I know that for a fucking fact, actually, because they basically gave you every answer you're gonna get on the show at the end of this episode. I guarantee it. When grandmother looked at mother and said, you know, we've been trying to figure out what the entity is, but we never really figured it out. It just is beyond human comprehension. As soon as she said that, I was like, oh, fuck me, dude. This whole show is gonna end up with them being like, well, it's beyond comprehension. I don't know. It's some weird shit, right? You'll never really know why any of this happened because it's just beyond your comprehension as a human. And I hate that kind of writing. That is so fucking lazy. Like, that is the easiest way to just be like, oh, let's have this weird shit happen and that weird shit happen. And, oh, I guess this weird shit's gonna happen. Why? It's just beyond your comprehension. It's actually really smart. You just don't get it. I'm like, I despise that. I really despise that. Anyways, let me go back. I read like one thing and I just like went off. I'm sorry. I felt that the quality of the show dropped since the second season started. I think the quality of the show has actually been going up as the show has gone on, but in terms of writing, I don't know. I feel like if you look at it retroactively, I think the whole show just doesn't make sense. Because like I said, there is no way we're going to get an answer. I feel like they really convinced me of that in this episode. I'm like, we're never going to figure it out. We're just never going to know why this shit is happening. Shit is just going to continue to happen, and it'll get crazy and fucked up and weird, and it'll, yeah, that's it. Just shit happens. Don't like that. Blame Saul. The maybe was investigated by Saul telling Otho to have children. Oh yeah, I guess I can blame Saul for that too. You're right. This went from an amazing show. Yeah, that's where I was. Have so many possible theories, questions, feelings. Your theories, questions are all wrong because there is no answer to this show. There is no answer. None. There is not an answer. They'll provide tiny stuff. Like, oh, what are these old humans from long ago? It's like, oh, there was an ancient civilization of people that lived here. That's as much as you're gonna get. All the other shit, who fucking knows? Who knows? Who cares? The writers sure fucking don't care. I hope one day some of you can be like, you should watch the show again. They did answer it all, and it makes sense. But there's no way. There is no way. The show will never make sense. There is no way. I also don't know how that baby's not burned. The acid is the water, which is the... Yeah, that I'm also like, are they ever going to explain that? Is that supposed to be just like some weird biblical type thing? I don't know. We'll never get an answer to it, I guarantee you. Very happy they didn't show the real-time transformation of Sue into the tree. Me too. I'm glad they at least spared me that, but it still didn't really do much in terms of not freaking me out to the point where I was shaking. I was literally shaking as that happened. I hated it. Like, we'll move on to that now. Sue turning into a fucking tree. And, okay, no, combining it. We're combining it. Sue getting turned into a meat tree and then being fucking, not eaten, but absorbed by the snake. I cannot, it's literally making me shake again, like, talking about it. I cannot describe how much I hate that. And they even go out of their way to be like, oh yeah, Sue's still in there. Sue can still feel and think and talk. You know, not the way a human can, because she's a fucking tree, right? But, oh yeah, she's still very conscious and everything. Like, she was afraid, because she knew the snake was coming to fucking absorb her and turn her into a part of it. I hate that. That is fucking terrifying, to the point that I cannot deal with it. I can't. Like, again, when body horror stuff happens, I feel it happening to me. Like, my brain goes to the wildest parts of my imagination to figure out what that would actually feel like. And yeah, being turned into a fucking tree, not so fucking great. Not so great at all. It seems really, really awful being trapped in perpetual, like, paralysis as a tree that has little brain fruit that you're feeding to other people. What is it going to do to these people? Who knows? I'm sure it's going to be some weird body horror shit in the finale. I'm sure. They even got Vita with that, too. How fun is that? I hate it, dude. I really hate it. I'm very happy. Yeah. Why does father never become radioactive when he dies? Oh yeah, I forgot they did say that. Well, mother said that at one point, and she was lying about father, or like what she did to father, so maybe that was just bullshit. And don't be so sorry for commenting so much. I appreciate it. The show kills babies. I hate babies. Should I be watching? Well, they don't kill any babies. Don't worry. They kill just about everything else, though. Or, no, that's not it. They could kill everyone on this show, and I'd be like, oh no, my poor heart. The body horror shit, I can't do it. I can't do it. I've seen other body horror stuff, too, and it's too fucking much. It's too much. Lost with 1/10 the emotions. You see, I think this show, personally, has way more feeling and, like, coolness to it than Lost ever did. I was not the biggest fan of Lost, like, even while it was going. And especially after the ending of Lost, I was like, well, fuck me. We'll never know the answer to anything. Glad I wasted 6 seasons on this shit, or however many seasons it was. Which is why I'm like, I don't think I'm going to continue this show, because I don't want to waste more time on it, because I am so confident it is going to be Lost, where at the very end, they're going to be like, oh no, I don't know. I don't think mother and father would truly have left her alone to get to that point. Oh, Tempest? Yeah, hell no. That was another issue I had with it. The fact that mother and father would be like, oh, we're so distracted by grandmother. I'm like, you know Tempest is having this baby today. I don't believe there's any way mother would be too distracted from that. That seems kind of ridiculous that she would be. The children being too distracted to watch her, I buy it, even though it really frustrated me. I was like, you fucking idiots had one job, dude. To what drew people into that first season, even with how little answers it gave. I kind of agree. Like, I almost wish we would go back to the slow pacing, because now I feel like they're just throwing out every idea they've ever had in the writer's room and just saying yes to everything. They're like, yep, we're going to do it all. You want to do that? All right, we're doing it. You want to do that? All right, we're doing it. Like, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they untransform Sue from the tree, which would be fucking stupid. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure they'd see like, oh, people don't like that we did that. Well, she'll just turn back into a human, I guess. Like, I'm telling you, dude. The writing revealed its true colors to me in that last episode that we just saw, and it's not good. It's not good. I might mention some series you're into right now that goes into this hard territory, but I don't want to spoil. Some what? Are you saying Alice in Borderland is gonna get just nonsensical and you're just never gonna know the answers to fucking anything? Because if that's the case, I will stop watching the show right now, because I hate that shit, dude. Like, that is the biggest waste of my fucking time, is to be invested in a story only to find out, well, I don't know. So no, please, if anyone knows the ending to a show, or not a season, but to a show that I'm watching that just never gets answers to anything, tell me now. I won't watch it. I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious. Reminds me of the 100 on CW. Started out bad for a few episodes, then great, but then got convoluted. I never got far enough into the 100. I only watched like the first 3 episodes, and I was like, I don't like this. And then I stopped watching. Read somewhere the writer-creator planned 5 seasons to tell the full story. I do not buy that. I do not buy that in the slightest, because there is no fucking way they introduced the Tree of Life and then had it eaten and absorbed by the snake, turned it into a giant weapon to eventually have to battle Mother. There's no fucking way that was originally the plan for the end of season 2. This is the kind of shit that should be happening like at the very end of the show. And here we are. Like, I enjoyed how fast-paced we were going there for a minute, but then I'm like, okay, whoa. This is just ridiculous now. Agree to disagree on what? I feel like the spray from the water would be dangerous. Yeah, I mean, the air itself is... There should be tons of mist by an ocean. That's a nitpick that I'm not gonna like get mad about, but honestly, if there was like an acid ocean, there's a mist always around the ocean that would just constantly be like... You'd be like breathing it in and shit. It'd be really bad. I've seen breakdowns on YouTube explaining the show, but the only reason they managed to do that is because they've read the comics. There are comics for Raised by Wolves? Burn me. Burn you, why? Why does the snake have wings now? It could already fly. I don't know. I mean, I'll admit, I think the creature design is kind of cool. Like, it looks scary, but the way it becomes that, I'm like, that is a hard stop for me. That is a hard stop. Maybe it's not supposed to make sense. It just makes us feel things, and that's all there is. That's stupid. I'm sorry, but that's stupid. The fuck is the point of that? That's not good writing. It's just not. If it's just not supposed to make sense, I'm like, that's not smart. That's not clever. That's just silly. Devs was one of those shows where I was worried that was how it was going to go. But in the last episode, it did give me enough of an explanation. Actually, like, plenty of an explanation. It answered why this could be. And it made perfect sense. And it still was insane. Like, the whole thing, I was like, what the fuck? How in the fuck is any of this happening? What in the fuck is happening? And I did get a reasonable explanation at the end. And I'm telling you, we're not getting it for Raised by Wolves. We are not getting it. And yeah, body horror... I can tolerate it in smaller doses than that. Again, they made it even worse, body horror-wise. Like, the point in the episode, I literally paused it and I walked out of my room for like an hour, and I came back to finish the episode later, was when Paul and... Yeah, like, Paul's listening on the radio, fucking whatever, and he can hear his mother's like strangled screams mixed in with the snake's voice now, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that, dude. Again, it didn't eat her. It didn't eat her and then, you know, become super strong. It absorbed her and turned her into a part of it. I fucking hate that. I can't do it. I literally can't do it. I can't do it. The show has had body horror since the start, though. Yeah, it has, and none of it is that fucked up. That is a whole other level of fucking evil body horror. I can't do it. And Sue and Marcus taking on different faces, I don't qualify that as body horror personally, because that is, well, to a degree, that is literally something you can do in real life. Like, you can get plastic surgery and change your face perfectly into someone else's. Not really, but, you know, still, that is close enough to the realm of possibility. The fact that they were awake during all of it, though, that was pretty fucked. I didn't enjoy that. But they're also, or at least Sue was a good person and everything, so I don't know, that didn't bother me nearly as much. The first bit of body horror in the show that I really was like, ooh, I don't, that gives me pause, was when the snake was born and it was just some tentacle shit coming out of its mouth. I don't know, man. Like, that alone, I was like, you know what? There's certainly a kink for that. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, there's certainly a way to look at that and be like, well, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. It's still pretty freaky, but that's not the worst. It's pretty bad, though. It did freak me out a lot. But yeah, then they did the tree shit, and the tree is just, it's a little too much. Okay, I take that back. The tree alone, it was right at the threshold, but I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Like, going into the 7th episode, I literally had to pump myself up for it. I was like, okay, all right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then the first fucking scene is Paul feeding bits of his mother to other people. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do this. They're really doubling down on this shit. They're not letting it happen and then move along. They are really doubling down on it, which is good writing. I'll give them that. The fact that they did double down on the things that they did. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. They don't kill babies, so you're skipping it? I'm like, yeah, they don't kill any babies on screen in this show. Well, that's actually, there's a moment where they trick you into thinking that they did, and it shocked the fuck out of me. You can go back and look at it. I think it was like episode 4 or 5 of the first season. It got me good. It got me really good. Oh, you loved Lost? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't think anyone's wrong for liking it or loving it, but I thought the show was nonsensical. Like, it just didn't make any fucking sense. Let Campion meet a real girl. I like his relationship with Vril. I'm honestly on board with that. I mean, she's like a murderer, but she damn well earned that revenge. Like, she earned that shit. They earned what was coming to them. Like, whew. Oh, damn, I'm so far behind. Alright, I just need to start reading comments. Feel less bad about Lost. I watched it all in like a month or two and watched the last season week to week. You didn't hate that ending? Well, I don't know. I have seen a lot of people say they didn't hate the ending, and I'm like, I don't know how our brains could work so differently, but if you enjoyed it, or didn't hate it at least, you know, good for you. Hey, Val. I feel like grandmother is evil. Why is she so quick to give up her veil? Yeah, the veil thing, I'm like, mother's gonna end up really regretting putting that thing on. I feel very confident about that. Veil evil. Ooh, interesting. Subversive, divisive, avant-garde. This show is not avant-garde. Avant-garde is like, again, avant-garde is, this isn't supposed to make sense, but it's supposed to make you feel something, like a commercial would, or like a Japanese commercial would. This is just like, what if we did this, and what if we did that, and what if we did this, and that? What about this? Like, that's just a fucking potluck of a writing room. Like, that's not it. I'm gonna watch the finale, okay? I will say that. I will watch the finale. But if it doesn't dramatically give me a huge answer, hugely fix what's going on with the snake and Sue, hugely fix what's going on with Campion and the snake, hugely fix what's going on with Tempest and her baby, I won't watch it beyond season 2. I'm gonna watch the finale though, because I don't want to miss out on an opportunity for them to possibly correct how much I hate it right now. Mother totally said that to Campion when she killed Father in season 1. I thought she made it up too, but Vril confirmed that generic surface models go radioactive. Oh. Then yeah, why isn't he... I mean, if Vril brought it up, that means they didn't forget it. So, I don't know, maybe they're planning to do something with that? Who knows? Maybe you have to be dead for a long time for it to be an issue? The comics were just an offshoot of this show, not its basis. Oh, so they're like extra add-on stuff, like, ooh, what about this little side adventure that you didn't get to see, kind of stuff. That does not count as explanation. If they expect anyone to have to read their comics that aren't related to the show 100%, that is not... No. That's not effective. Yeah, exactly. Please take off this object that limits my abilities. Exactly. I'm like, as soon as she takes that off, that's going to put Mother in a real bad spot and Grandmother in a really good spot. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just... I wish Mother could just be like, you know what, fuck it, and then just blow her snake son up. After what happened, I'm like, I don't even need you to, like, turn the snake back or Sue back. I think we have well past that as a possibility. So yeah, just kill the fucking thing. Like, I'm over it. I really want both of those creatures to be out of their misery right now. Right now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait till the end of the finale. I want it to happen now, between episodes. Like, I hate that so much, dude. I think this proves Father is more important and maybe not so generic. I mean, I think they've been hinting at that throughout this, probably this whole show, but this season in particular. Ooh, that's a good point, just in time. It does remove her protective programming, but not just for 7, for Campion. Ooh, and the snake is after Campion. Like, she might end up killing both of them at the same time. That would really fucking... See, that, in my opinion, that would be like, okay, well, you just fixed the Snake Sue problem in the only way you really can, and then you just killed the only other character I really give a shit about at this point. That is an exaggeration. I do care about a lot of the characters, but with Sue now, you know, snake DNA, Campion is my favorite character. So if they kill him too, I'm like, alright dude, fuck this shit, I'm over it. Alice in Borderlands manga is done. I'm not sure that the show is going to change the ending. Is the ending you just don't know? 'Cause I'm telling you right now, you need to tell me if it's the ending of that manga. Is the end of that manga... Who fucking knows? Because if it is, I'm gonna stop watching Alice in Borderlands. I'm not kidding. The 100 was great for like 2 or 3 seasons. I didn't like it at the start, but glad you did. I am so far behind, I'm sorry. Some shows don't tell all the answers, leaving them up for interpretations. Yeah, but when you don't tell any answers, that's just fucking annoying. And I agree, that doesn't mean it's terrible to not answer some things. Again, you give me something. Specifically, the Saul thing. I need to fucking know. Like, what is his deal? Who is he? Literally anything about him at this point. I'm like, who is he? Where is he? What does he fucking want? How does How does turning Sue into a tree to be absorbed by the snake that he impregnated Mother with do fucking anything? Like, what? I don't understand. And I'm at a point now where I'm like, you need to start telling me something, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Because right now they even said, like, oh, the entity, his goal has always seemed to be to destroy the planet. But the snake is acting on emotion, and it seems to just be jealous of Campion and is going after him. So I'm like, so Saul wanted the snake to do that to Sue. The Saul wanted to do to Mother, to create the snake, and then do to Sue so she could be absorbed by the snake, so that it could then kill Campion. There are so many easier, less complicated, fucking stupid ways to kill Campion. So they need to give me an answer. Because if they don't, that's just fucking dumb, dude. Like, I have hit a point now where I'm like, I've watched like 17 hours of this show, and I still don't know anything about the main antagonist. I hate that. I really don't like that. I think they're doing well not to answer who is Saul right away. In the first season, it's revealed Saul exists. I think they're fucking up by not revealing that. Or something about it. Again, I'm like, you don't want to tell me who it is? Tell me where he is. You don't want to tell me where he is? Tell me what he wants. Like, they gotta give me something. And they're not giving me anything. There's only one comic volume and it's a prequel. Well, that doesn't answer anything, man. It doesn't answer anything about Saul. Unless it's like a super prequel. I think it mentioned that Raised by Wolves had a comic when the first season came out. Maybe it just doesn't make sense yet. I really hope you're right. Really hope you're right. Yeah, Devs was sick. Devs was able to pull it all together in that last episode, which did surprise me. I did not think they were going to be able to do it. I've read a lot of sci-fi stories that don't make sense, and the author just says, it's sci-fi, it's exploration of the human soul. I hate that. That's annoying. I'm sorry, that's annoying. Guess those Finn's wings are purely for aesthetics. Yeah, no, they're Finn's wings. They're definitely just like big long tentacles. And knowing how body horror loving this show is, I'm sure one of those tentacles is gonna like wrap up Campion and then like go down his throat and then like absorb him into its body or some shit like that. Cause why not? Why not? That sounds fucking evil and horrible. Why not? That does feel like a million years ago. This show can still stick a good landing. If anything else, it will be well made and well acted garbage fire. Still makes it a waste of time. Still makes it a waste of time if it's just a nonsense bullshit ending. I doubt it'll make 5 seasons. Yeah, I'll honestly be surprised if it gets a 3rd as well. Not because of my critical opinion of this season, but just because no one fucking watches this show. Like, it is so criminally, like, overlooked. I really don't know if it'll even get a 3rd season. What if Sue's voice is actually Saul speaking into their mind as Sue's voice? I guess. Still has the same effect. But I doubt. Why would Saul do that? Well, who fucking knows? No one will ever know. Stupid dude. Can understand if it gets canceled after this season. I just want to enjoy it. I mean, I'm not telling anyone else to not enjoy it. When I say it's stupid, I'm saying for me that's really stupid to just waste 2 entire seasons and not give any answers to actually invest people in watching a fucking 3rd season. Like, I even said this at the end of the first season. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the next season, but they gotta start giving me some answers. They gotta start giving me something. And here we are. They gave me nothing. A whole season went by and they gave me fucking nothing. The closest thing I got was Saul's voice. Like, it's real. It's a transmission from somewhere. And I'm like, okay, that's a good start. Let's move on with that. And they just never did. They were like, no, we're gonna have Sue turn into a tree instead of doing something interesting. Okay, I take that back. That was interesting, but instead of doing something worthwhile for her character, that's another issue I have. I'm like, Sue has got to be turning into a tree and then being absorbed by a fucking snake. That has to be like the most criminal underutilization of a character since Sakura on Naruto. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. At least Paul felt bad. No, okay, I'm so glad you said that, because in that moment I had to pause the episode again and I was like, you fucking little bitch. You are the reason this happened. Literally everything that just happened with Sue and the snake is fucking Paul's fault. Had he not found the seed, had he not done all his stupid bullshit, had he not gone and found his dad and nearly got himself killed, this would not have happened. So, yeah, no, when he was sitting there, like, crying because he can hear her voice mixed in with it, I was like, fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Don't you ever show me emotions like that in regards to your mother ever again. Far too late. Ooh, I hate that little shit. I have to, I have to calm down. Hold on. As I said, I get very invested in my TV shows. I think this is the most I have ever been affected by characters or events on a TV show. I genuinely think so. Dead acid creature babies. Oh yeah, I guess they did kill those babies. You're right. The show has been gory since the very beginning. Otho's head getting crumpled. That was glorious. That's not body horror. That was fucking justice. Necro eyes going into Marcus's throat. That did freak me out. That was decent body horror. I was like, I don't like that. But again, wasn't the worst shit I've ever seen. I think being forced to swallow necro eyes and then getting weird veins all over your face is far more tolerable than being turned into a living tree that gets absorbed into a flying monster snake that she is now a part of. I think that is a pretty severe gap between the two of them. Like, you know, you have one over here, all the way down here, and then one all the way on the top of fucking Mount Everest. Like, it is a dramatic shift between everything you just said and what just happened to Sue. Grandmama changed the biological composition of the baby when she touched Homegirl and sped up her pregnancy. Oh, maybe. Whatever changes Granny made also protected. That actually could be an answer. And I've been thinking that that's what her surprise function is. They're like, I don't know what her function is. What is it? I did kind of get the feeling, I'm like, I'll bet it's like a matter shifter kind of thing, where she is able to alter what something is into something else. So that actually could be a solid guess right there. It was delayed self-defense. If I was the judge, I would accept it. Okay. I feel like Gore's organs and muscles being shown pulled apart, not just crumpled helmet with some blood. I also agree with that too. Like the crumpled helmet, like the implication of that absolutely was, you know, gory, but you didn't actually see like brains and bones like spitting up out of the helmet, so a little different, but I do see what you mean. It's a fine line on that one. Hate for me too. I loved the Lost ending. Emotionally, it worked for me. Not at all for me. Not even a little bit did it emotionally work for me. At the end, I liked the characters and didn't care about the mystery answers. At the end, I did not like the characters, and I only cared about the mystery answers. So I'm full 180 on you there. Or, yeah, full 180. No hate though. I'm in a pissy mood. I might sound upset, but I swear, if you liked Lost, if you thought it was great, fuck yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed your show. I hated that ending. I thought it was actually stupid. Sue gains control of the snake and becomes the new god. Still wouldn't like that because she's now a fucking snake. Like, what? Like, would it be kind of poetic that at one point in the season she's like, he's turning into a snake, and then she ends up becoming the snake? Sure, I guess. That would make the writing not shit, I think, but I would still hate it so much I wouldn't be able to continue on. I don't know, maybe that's one of those things I'd have to see it played out, like how they do it. Maybe I could be okay with it. It makes sense since grandmother doesn't have any weapons, but instead has something else. Something both mother and father didn't understand. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. That might be it. Brill literally had an announcement come on after she died. What do you mean an announcement? What do you mean by that? I actually don't know what you mean. Yeah, and the fact that this season is 8 episodes instead of 10 like the last one... At first, I was like, well, that's good. That means I did think the first season kind of dragged a little bit towards the second half, but this season didn't feel like it was dragging at all. But then it was going way too fast. way too fast. Interstellar travel fast, like, too much. I knew the tree had to be important to this season somehow. Didn't think they were gonna have a character go from completely normal, insane, to a fanatic who gets turned into a tree in a single episode. It reminded me a little bit of the Daenerys thing, to be totally honest, because it was such a hard shift for Sue. Because it wasn't even just like, I don't believe in, like, Saul, but I know something is out there and did help me, so I will do what it's asking me. That I would be more accepting of. I'd be like, you know what? I think you're dumb. I think you should absolutely not listen to this fucking voice that you have seen tear people apart. But I could buy that because it saved her son. But the fact that she was even saying all the same shit as them, like, praise Saul, praise blah, 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 there's all a reason for it. I'm like, nope. You're gonna not watch a lot of shows if you have this criteria. I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. I don't want to watch a show that doesn't have an ending. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know why you're like insinuating that it's a good thing to be like, oh yeah, this movie or this show has 2 acts. There's no real ending, but you know, those 2 acts are cool. Like, that's not a story. I'm glad it is, even though I'm pissy right now. Super random question. Do you prefer slow or fast songs? For songs, probably both. I don't have a preference. The trend now is nihilism because of obvious reasons. Well, that's another issue I've been having here lately. Anyone who saw my other Twitter account saw my post about it. Or I think it was a comment on something else, actually, so maybe not. But I was just thinking about it earlier today. I'm like, as good as so much media has been here lately, or not so good, you know, or great, whatever it is, everything is so goddamn, like, nihilistic and depressing nowadays. And there's nothing exactly wrong with that. But when it's everything, I'm like, dude, it's exhausting. Like, I just feel depressed, like, with everything I watch. It would be nice to watch a show that's just nice and sweet. It has something really enjoyable to it. And I'm not saying that the shows I've been watching here lately don't have that. Like, they all have at least some moments where I'm like, okay, that makes it fully worth it for me. That made me feel good. But it just does seem like everything is so goddamn depressing nowadays. Like, I started playing Elden Ring, which I know some people are going to be like, you don't have time to be doing that with all your other shit. And you're right, I don't. I play like 30 minutes every day and then I get back to work. But even in that, like, every single story, every quest, it's just like, oh, look at this, you know, this A, B, and C situation, and then the end result, the worst possible scenario that is so tragic, so sad, so fucked up, whatever it is. And I'm like, I don't know, it's just exhausting. Especially when the world as we know it right now is such shit. Like, it's actually so fucking horrible right now. It's not exactly great to go into your fantasy shows and then also just get shit on there. You know the ending of Alice in Borderland. There is an answer to why we're trying an alternate Tokyo, but some people wouldn't like the ending because it's a bit woo-woo. I'll watch it. I'm okay with woo-woo as long as they give me an answer. If they commit to an answer, even if it's a dumb one, I can still give them credit for fucking trying. Whereas other shows, I'm sorry, I think Lost is a huge offender of this. They just didn't write an ending. They didn't know how to do it, so they said, it was all a dream. There you go. It never actually happened. But we'll film it in a way so that anyone who watches it could be like, oh, well, maybe it did happen, but blah, 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 blah. Like, again, we'll just make it vague enough that everyone will just make up their own ending so we don't actually have to write it. That's so fucking lazy, dude. I would prefer a woo-woo, crazy-ass, dumb ending than no ending. Like, that, I hate it. Did y'all see Deadpool 3 got announced today? I did not. It's like a little kid's story, and then this guy, he went to work, he threw a jug of milk, and then milk, and then it turned out, exactly, it's like just, and you're just like, so where is like the common thread here? Because I am not seeing it. I will admit though, there was one bit of writing in this episode, even though it literally just gave me chills thinking about it. Considering what happens to Sue and the snake. There's a scene earlier in the season where the two of them like meet. She just walks up and the snake gives her this really fucking weird look. And now I know why. And it just makes it that much worse, honestly. Does that make that better writing? 100%. I don't hate that for the writing aspect. I hate that for what it implies and what that means for both of those characters, and that's, I fucking hate that. Body horror ain't it, man. I don't know how to describe. I feel it. Again, that sounds like some dumb shit that no one's gonna believe, but I'm like, I'm telling you, I feel it to the point where I can't handle it. I'm literally like I'm not imagining, or I mean I am, I guess, but I'm not like forcing myself to hurt. But I am in pain watching that shit. Like, quite literally, it feels like my body is altering with the character. I can't do it. Can't do it. Specifically with turning into a tree and then being absorbed by a snake. Like, that whole imagining what that's supposed to feel like, that is where it's just too much for me. What if father has always been there and grandmother was his original partner? It would explain his instant obsession with the remains Vita finds. That would. But he was shown on Earth leaving with mother in the flashback, so I'm like, I don't think that's the case. But maybe. I don't know. Annoying, pretentious sci-fi is a thing. It's rare to see it on screen, and I kind of appreciate it. What do you mean it's rare to see on screen? I feel like that's most sci-fi, is them being like, whoa, what does this mean? I don't know. Like, that's, in my opinion, that'd be most sci-fi does that, and that's why I'm kind of tired of it. I want to get a sci-fi where they're like, this is why that. There you go. It's that fucking simple. Has anyone watched The Boys Diabolical? I don't want to watch it. I know you're probably all just going to think I'm in a hater mood right now, but this is a genuine criticism. I feel like them doing The Boys Diabolical is such an obvious like rip of Invincible. They were like, oh, Invincible did super fucking well. we should do a cartoon too, because everyone compares The Boys and Invincible already, so then they made themselves a cartoon, and I'm like, that's lame. I'm sorry, I think that's really fucking lame. So I am kind of boycotting the show. I'm intentionally not watching it. But I will be watching season 3 of The Boys, even though that show overall also doesn't really quite do it for me. The VFX guy said in the featurette that the look of the snake was a combination of 4 main roots of the Sioux tree. The fins were from Ugly Moth, FX guy found online. They got just a random dude to... What? I don't understand what you're saying. Combination of 4 main roots of the Sioux tree. You're making it worse for me. You're making the body horror worse for me. Still not as bad as Game of Thrones final season. I don't know. Depending on how they wrap it up here next week, I think it very well could be worse than that final season of Game of Thrones. Because at least that had plot threads that, you know, it had an ending. It made sense. Did it make a lot of sense? No, but there was some kind of logic behind it to a degree. Here, I'm like, I couldn't even begin to tell you what the fuck. Yeah, Sakura was ass because they never did anything with her. And Paul really has become an awful character. Like, I really hate the kid. Like, I tried so hard after his near-death moment. I'm like, all right, come on, this is the moment. Turn it around. Start to like the kid. Couldn't do it because he just continued to be a little fucking shit. I hate him. If any of y'all watched From, I've heard not to watch that because it's, I guess, really fucking racist or something. I don't know. To me, Paul and Campion are 2 sides to the same annoying-ass coin. You see, I totally disagree. I'm like, Campion also says some dumb shit sometimes, but he always tags on the, but you believe whatever you want. That's how I feel about this. Paul's like, you're wrong. You're stupid. You need to be killed because you don't believe what I believe. And I'm like, that's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up. Can't be like that. So Campion, again, he has his moments where he'll say some shit about Saul or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god. But he is a genuinely decent, kind person. Kind of a badass, too. Yeah, and he doesn't force his beliefs on anybody. Did Paul feel bad, or was he just upset Campion didn't eat the fruit? I think he definitely felt bad knowing it was his mother, because he looked really fucking guilty and, you know, conflicted about it before Campion ever even entered the scene. So I think he was definitely like, I'm feeding my mom to people, but I have to do it because Saul told me to, and I'm a good little boy. Like, that was a lot. Very glad Campion didn't eat it, though. I wonder what would have happened if he did. Would that have insta-killed him for the snake? Because clearly the snake has some sort of connection with the tree and the fruit, and I don't like talking about it. I actually don't like talking about it. It makes me feel fucking bad. Like, my insides actually feel like they get hot and are like melting as I'm discussing it. It's like having an anxiety attack, but I don't know. It's not really 100% like an anxiety attack. It's I don't know how to describe it. Biblical. Campion is Abel. Paul is Cain. Wait, which one is Cain killed Abel? Oh, yeah. I mean, if they end up doing that story, like, oh, Cain killed Abel, you know, Paul killed Campion. If they did that by having Paul be the reason all this shit is happening, and then the snake just kills Campion, like, that's so dumb, dude. That is actually dumb. This is gonna end with the soul has been the viewer all along. Maybe. I tell you what, I didn't want this. I sure as fuck didn't want Sue anywhere near the seed of that tree, so disagree with that. Grandmother said she aims for eternal life for humanity. That can be anything, like turning the survivors into acid fish people so they will thrive. That's a good point. That is a good point. But if that's the case, that means season 3 will literally just be body horror. It will just be, oh, here's this evil entity forcefully turning you into something else. I can't watch a season of that. I can't do it. So yeah, if they reveal that as her secret ability in the finale, and that's her goal, is to change all the people into, you know, the most adaptable survivors, I will not watch any more of it. I will not do it. During Otho head explosion, there are brains in Tempest hair. Oh, you're right, there is brains in her hair. There is, so it's gory. You're right. I mean, being trapped under his dead body isn't gory, but yeah, there were some brains. You're right. Still doesn't make it body horror. That just makes it gory, but yeah. Have you watched Love, Victor? Nope, I have not. I do plan on it at some point, but I don't know. Love, Simon didn't like really do it for me. I was like, it's good, but it's also, I think, maybe a little too cheesy. Like, I appreciated the fact that that was a feel-good movie. It made me feel good, but there were parts where I'm like, I guess. Whatever you say. Oh yeah, maybe. Completely get how the episode put you off. I was damn near turning it off. Yeah, I can't. Sue was the one character that kept me grounded. That's what I'm fucking saying. Like, every character, for the most part, has gone off the rails. Like, not in a bad way per se. Like, Mother, I love her to death. She has so far gone off the rails so long ago that you're just like, all right, she's not the one that's like holding me in here. Sue was that character for me. She was the one person who looked at everything logically and still had a personality and emotions and everything, but she still was like, no, I've seen some shit. I'm not an idiot. I'm going to look at this from a rational perspective. And then they just threw that away in the last 2 episodes so that she could become a tree and then a snake. Awful. Genuinely awful. Campion is Cain and Paul is Abel. Oh. I mean, I could see Campion having to kill Paul at some point, but I'm not seeing the Cain and Abel storyline in the show. Like, in the first season, they hinted at it a little bit, like when they did the little stick challenge and Paul was able to do it better than Campion and he got super jealous. I was like, ooh, okay, little Cain and Abel shit here. Okay, I'm interested. Someone's gonna get jealous and kill the other one. That's gonna be fucking crazy. But this whole season, or not this whole season, but since Paul has, fallen ill, like in the middle of the season, they haven't had like any interaction after that, really. Like, they've had a little bit, but not a lot. Nothing that indicates a Cain and Abel storyline, in my opinion. Brill died. She fell into Campion's arms. A message sounds from her dead android body saying thanks for buying. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. That actually made me sad. I still am holding out hope, though. I'm like, no. Dead android? Sure. Put her in someone else. Fuck it. You want to go full body horror? Let's do that. Let's put her mind into another body, because fuck it. If we're doing this, let's do it. The show ended? No. Well, maybe. We'll see. Ever watched Ted Lasso? Nope. Yeah, the current trends are exhausting. Because there's that and nostalgia. It's either like, do you want to watch this movie and feel really fucking bad about all these horrible conflicts? Or do you want to watch this super nostalgic movie to make you happy? I'm like, nostalgia has stopped making me happy. I'm so fucking over nostalgia. Watched Upload Season 2 now. Great spin on Afterlife. I still haven't watched the first season, but I really want to. Like, that has gotten such critical acclaim. It's pretty insane. And what's up, Simtown? We need some solar punk for happy futurism. Wouldn't be too bad. I didn't think Lost ending was it didn't happen, but that it all happened, and now they're going to the afterlife together. How did it? They okay, whatever. I'm not gonna argue the ending of Lost, because again, they wrote that ending for you to tell me that, rather than actually write an ending, which some people really like. They love that, you know, they get to interpret their own ending for it. I don't like that. That's a sign of a lazy writer to me. Sad thing is, endings mean less money. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Transhumanism, aka humans plus tech. I mean, that shit does kind of freak me out sometimes, but that's literally that is the future we are heading towards, so that one I'm like slowly adjusting myself to come around to, because again, there is actually a possibility that within my lifetime I'll need to get like a chip implanted in my head in order to function in our society. Maybe not, but it genuinely could happen within our lifetime. The Atom Project is a pretty fun time. I don't like Ryan Reynolds though. I guarantee you I'm not going to be having as much fun as other people did, because I don't like Ryan Reynolds. The only character I like him as is Deadpool. That's like the one character that I think he plays very, very well. Everything else, I'm just like, yep, there's Ryan Reynolds not acting again. I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I too am feeling really bad the last 2 episodes. No, I mean, you're not being antagonistic. Hilarious. Diabolical is made by the Invincible Studio. Okay, for one, that proves me right in my opinion, and 2, I'm surprised actually that the studio for Invincible would be like, sure, we'll help out our competition. Like, why the fuck would they do that? I wouldn't do that if I was the studio that made Invincible and they were like, hey, we really want to make a cartoon really similar to your Invincible. I'd be like, have fun making it yourself then, bitch. Like, if you want to compete with us, you better do it yourself. Like, that's crazy to me that they actually did that for them. Like, obviously they didn't like write the whole show or anything, but the fact that they did the animation for that show is really wild to me. The Expanse TV series has a good ending, even though the books continued and they set part of the next thing in the books up. Okay. I didn't know it was a book series. Again, if it has an ending, I'll watch it. If it doesn't, if it's just oh, it's ambiguous, you figure it out yourself. Who knows? Don't want to watch it. I am feisty right now. I feel very strongly about this. Like, that last episode completely flipped my mood. I wouldn't even say, like, I know the title of this video is how the last 2 episodes have turned me into a hater, but like partially stuff that happened in the 6th episode is what did it. It was the 7th episode though where I was like, nope, no, that's fucking lame. Hate that. There's a strong rumor The Expanse is going to have a trilogy movie ending. But I thought that you just said it had an ending already. If it's from the same creators, that's great news. Get a new show that continues things. Oh, okay. Man, I'm excited for that show. I don't know what the fuck I have no idea what The Expanse is about. Like, I still have refused. I think I actually did read the synopsis for the show, and I completely forgot it. So I'm like, I don't know anything about it. It's going to be fun jumping into that whenever it happens. I watched 10 plus episodes of Expanse, found the politics laughably stupid. Okay. I feel like the politics in Raised by Wolves are a little laughably stupid, but I'm willing to accept that considering it's like a dystopian, small-ass society where there's not really going to be any regulation that you would normally find. What if grandmother is Saul? I don't think so. That to me, I don't think so. If she is, well, fuck me. That would be real, real bad. No, I don't think so. If that's the case, then I think it would have been a situation that it would have been like, oh, she can't, pass her voice on to other people as long as she has the thing on. But as soon as she gives it away to Mother, then she's able to start, really fucking with shit. I'm like, I don't think she's Saul. I think she is potentially going to be a very, very serious problem. But like I said, if it's a problem that's not just extensive season 3 body horror, I can be down for it. But if it's her just turning people into fucking creatures and shit, I'm not watching. I don't want to put myself through it, honestly. It would literally be torture for me. I would start every episode knowing this is physically going to hurt. This is like actually physically going to be painful to watch, but I'll still watch it for you all. And then I will end every episode actually in pain over what happened. So I won't do it if it's just going to be body horror galore in season 3. So let's find out what happens in this finale. Oh, you like to Adam Project? Nice. I binged Diabolical last night. The Great Wide Wonder episode in the Rick and Mitty style was the best. Did you see the Batman? I'm finna watch it bootleg tonight. I still haven't watched it, no. I want to, though. That's definitely one I'm going to watch. I'll probably do like a little live review after I watch it. I just haven't had time. Like, I'm either editing or doing my artwork. Like, I'm currently doing a commission for someone in this chat right now. Which I actually need to work on right after I finish this stream. I do need to edit more too, though. Fuck, I'm sorry, everybody. There's just so much goddamn shit. But yes, I'm watching Batman. From what I hear, it's quite good, which is makes me happy. There's definitely a time travel element to the show. Maybe it's just ping-ponging back and forth between Earth and Kepler 22b. What do you mean? I don't think that's a definite. Yeah, I don't think it's a definite, but I think that is a very strong possibility. Heard IO9 talking about another Expanse show because there is a time jump in the book, so I'd certainly watch a new show if they came up with one. I still haven't watched the first one. People I trust said Ted Lasso was a warm, happy blanket. I am bumping it up on my list. What is it? Hold on, I'm looking up Ted Lasso right now. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about when you say Ted Lasso. You're all gonna hate me. I really do sound like a complete hater tonight. I don't really like Jason Sudeikis. You're only giving me shows with like the 4 actors I don't like. Come on. There's Liam Neeson, Jason Sudeikis, Ryan Reynolds. Is there anyone else that I really, really don't like? I'm sure there's more than that. Like, there's some actors I don't like on a personal level where I'm like, you're just a fucking piece of shit and I don't want to support your projects. That's like Mel Gibson or something, or Russell Crowe. But then there's other actors I'm like, I just don't think you're an engaging actor. I don't think you're a good actor. I will never go to see a movie with you because I would just not enjoy myself. So yeah, sorry. I don't think Ted Lasso's gonna do it for me. I don't like Jason Sudeikis. I really don't. I've been able to tolerate him in some movies just because he's not the main character, but if he is Ted Lasso, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna like that. His small role on Portlandia was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, though. That was, I think, the most I've ever liked him was playing that role on Portlandia because it was so fucking funny. It also has Jennifer Gardner, Mark Ruffalo, and Zoe Saldana. Yeah, I saw them all on there too, and I was like, well, do kind of make it worth it. Not enough. Not enough. I have a feeling Raised by Wolves is going to be how mankind can't live without irrational belief, and it keeps popping up wherever we go. Also, probably there's an AI demon trapped on Kepler doing all the stuff. But if it's an AI demon, that means they all have to be in a sim, which would mean the ending of the show would be, it was all a dream, and that's pretty lame. And I could see, I feel like the show already is about how mankind can't live without irrational belief, but again, I don't know where they're going with it, because now they're being like, oh no, this irrational belief, it actually is real. Like, not only is Saul real, like they revealed, it's also like, oh yeah, there is a tree of life. There is a seed that you need to plant the tree of life. There is all this fucking fantasy shit. So, I don't know. It's not exactly irrational, because like it is all happening, but it's just it's fucking, I don't know. The Expanse is pretty much space Game of Thrones, but someone just said that the politics were laughably stupid, and the politics in Game of Thrones were, I don't know if I just said Game of Thrones or The Expanse. Sorry, but the politics in Game of Thrones, I think, were really well done for the first 4 seasons. So I don't see how the politics could be laughably stupid if it's similar to space, or if it's like a space Game of Thrones. I hate when people say things is something a version of Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, I forgot. We did have that discussion of how like everything is compared to Game of Thrones nowadays. I wouldn't want you to do that for us. Watch season 3 if it's all body horror. Yeah. I wouldn't. So. So yeah, I'm glad you wouldn't want me to do that, because I would not. And thank you, Jim. What about the furry art? Anyone who wasn't in my last stream, I did come out as a furry artist, so you know, you can poke all fun you want. Now's your opportunity. I went to see Batman and it was pretty good. I'll take pretty good. Game of Thrones is just the Lord of the Rings with sex. True. You're right. Is Lord of the Rings considered high fantasy or low fantasy? To me, I know there is a definitive definition of the two, but to me, Lord of the Rings has always felt more high fantasy, because it's actual like elven races and orcs and magic and blah 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 blah. Whereas Game of Thrones, it was like dragons exist, barely. Magic exists, barely. Like it was very low fantasy. Movies are a risk, your life affair on this side of the world, so I don't think Batman is not worth it at the moment. Oh yeah, you make a good point. And it'll be out on digital not very long from now. I think they really should. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Like, it's good that they do have that as an option for people like you who cannot get to it, but I think business-wise, they're kind of fucking up by not extending that period of time to kind of force people to go to the theater. But I'm glad they're not, because, again, it's genuinely not safe for a lot of people right now, so I get that. You'll be missing out on the greatness of Roy fucking Kent if you skip watching Ted Lasso. I don't like Jason Sudeikis, dude. He's the main character. That might be a show I have to watch one episode of and make it clear to people I'm watching this one. If this doesn't do it for me, I will not watch any more of it. Don't get pissy with me. Like, I might have to do it like that, because I really don't like Jason Sudeikis. This is exactly how I felt when they did my girl Cassie dirty. I mean, I also had some issues with that finale. I think Euphoria also had a weaker season 2. I think Game of Thrones... Oh my god, why do I keep saying Game of Thrones? I think Raised by Wolves and Euphoria both had much weaker second seasons than their first season. And I would not have said that 2 days ago about Raised by Wolves, but like I said, those last 2 episodes, I'm like, whoa, dude. I think we just went way too deep into Crazy Town. And just, I fucking hate it personally for all the body horror. And for wasting Sue's character. I fucking waste, dude. That is such a waste. She's such a good actor, too. She is the second best actor on the whole show behind Amanda Collin. Like, stupid. It is so stupid that they did that to her. If they were gonna do that, do it to anybody else. Anybody else. You could have done that to Mother, and I think I would have appreciated it more than doing it to Sue. I exaggerate. I would not have been okay with that. Yeah, literally anyone but Sue. Sue was the worst possible person that could have happened to, in my opinion. So that just, it's an extra layer of why I don't like it. Peacemaker is a great, stupid, funny, brain smile, happy, good time. After Peacemaker killed Rick Flag, I don't want to watch it. I'm sorry. I think I will, just because a lot of people are like, trust me, just trust me. You will really like the show. You will really start to understand his character. But I'm pretty okay with sitting right here in my hate bubble and just being like, you piece of shit. You killed Rick Flag and you almost killed Ratcatcher. Fuck you. So I'm still at that point. I will get past it. Don't you worry. Well, the Batman movie will be HBO Max in April. Yeah, see, that's a month. That's not that bad. You only went because you needed to get out of the house. I feel that. Isn't the biblical story with the tree of knowledge? I think so. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read the fucking Bible. Like, I don't remember a tree of knowledge. I remember the tree at the very, very start of the Bible, where Eve is tricked into eating the fruit and then unleashing sin upon mankind, but now that I just said that, everyone that ate it releases sin to all mankind. What would that do? I feel like everyone who ate that fruit is going to have some horrific body horror shit next week. I feel so confident about that. Are you making furry art for someone in the stream? Yes and no. I guess yes. Yes. Sure. Yes. Just found it way too simplistic. Take Ukraine today. It's very complicated. True. That's true. Silmarillion was high and low. Lord of the Rings is mid. They're both in the same world, though. They can't be two different things. And I've never read the Silmarillion, by the way, because I don't have a couple years to read that. That thing is ridiculously long. Don't get pissy with me. I get pissy with anyone. I'm pissy right now. The show fucked me up. They had something so good. I was enjoying it so much, and then they just fucking trashed it. They just shoved it down my throat, turned me into a fucking tree, then into a snake. So I'm not a fan. I have a right to be pissy. The Bible says don't get knowledge. You'll be super unhappy. That's true, actually. That is true. There are like 2 governments in the winter, so I can see how it could. Let me think of it. What? Hey, Arby. Hope I'm not too late to the hate party. I still got plenty of hate, don't you worry. I hated the Rick Flag thing too, but Peacemaker surprised the fuck out of me. I'm just so okay with not letting him give me a chance to be surprised. I'm okay with letting that bullet to the neck just be my canon. He died. I don't really want anything else. I don't. Really don't understand the Rick Flag love. Also, I love Vigilante. Why? I hated Rick Flag in the first movie because it wasn't a character. He literally was just there. That's it. And then in this movie, they gave him a very solid personality. He cared about his team. He was the most altruistic good of all of them on the Suicide Squad. Maybe with the exception of like Ratcatcher, I guess. So yeah, they made me love him as a character in that movie, and then they killed him, which I didn't hate. I'm like, personally, sure, I hate that. Objectively, writing-wise, that was great. That was fucking awesome. No issues with it at all. Rick Flag is awesome, and I also love Vigilante. He looks so dumb. I'm looking this up just to be sure I'm thinking of the right character. He looks so dumb. I mean, I guess the costume's, like, okay. Oh, that's why you all like him. He's literally Deadpool. Maybe he's not quippy like Deadpool, I don't know. I can't hear what he's saying. But every, like, gif I see is him just, like, doing something cute. He's always just like, doing something like that. And he's full head to toe covered, so he's Deadpool. That's why y'all like him. Romulus killed Ramus. They are both raised by She-Wolf. I definitely missed that, so thank you. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying that in like relation to be totally honest, but yeah. It wasn't how many factions, it was how many things are just this guy versus this guy most of the time. I mean, it's exactly how most drama shows do it. Oh, yeah. Silmarillion are a bunch of entities who create mountains by sneezing. Sounds kind of cool. He expands into the OC without much trouble. Really? Well, didn't the OC get canceled? Oh, no. I'm thinking of the OA. You're talking about the drama that was in California. Never actually watched an episode of that show. I've only seen the what you say, and then made fun of it with everyone else in the world. I hate Joel Kinnaman the same way you hate Jason Sudeikis. Joel Kinnaman, I can't remember his face. I really can't. Oh, I do like him, actually. I got no issues with Joel Kinnaman. But I feel you. I think you spelled them both right, actually. It is meant to be campy. Well, there are some people that don't like super campy stuff. This guy right here. You know who doesn't like Sam Raimi movies? The one exception being the Spider-Man trilogy. This guy right here. And why is that? Because he is so fucking campy. I'm very nervous about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It looks like it is not campy. It looks like it's dark and interesting and cool. I am so fucking nervous though, because he can't help himself. He goes extreme camp on shit that just does not need to be done. Like, I am one of the people who hates the original Evil Dead because everyone's like, oh, it's so campy and it's a cult classic. I'm like, it is dumb. Like, never once made me afraid, never once worried me. The only thing I truly disliked was getting raped by a tree. That I think is taking body horror just a little too far. And then the whole rest of it was just nonsense. Like, it was just super over the top just for the sake of it, and I don't like that. It's not funny to me. I'm like, relax, pull it in. You're trying way too hard. Like, that's what camp feels like to me. Campy shit feels like try hard shit. And I'm like, you gotta chill, dude. You gotta chill. You gotta stop. Please. Euphoria Season 2 was bad after watching the season as a whole. I kind of agree, actually. I think episode by episode, it was very good. But I think looking back at the season like as a whole, It's actually not very good. I think there were some like critical missteps in that season. Dumb and lovable. People like Vigilante because he's dumb and crazy. So Deadpool. That you're literally describing Deadpool. I like Joel Kinnaman, Jason Sudeikis, and whoever is Deadpool almost equally. Yeah, I mean Deadpool's okay. I'm not like the biggest Deadpool fan, but it's funny. Like I enjoy Deadpool. There are certain situations that Deadpool is put in that I think are like honestly some of the coolest stuff in like comic books, but a lot of his stuff is also a little try-hard if you ask me. Not always. I think a lot of times I get some genuine laughs out of Deadpool, but sometimes there's just like so many jokes that he throws at you. I'm like, okay, dude, relax. Like, I already laughed twice. I'm not gonna laugh at your fourth joke in a row, man. Like, give me 2 seconds to breathe or to go, or like something else besides just laugh, 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 wink, wink, wink at the camera. Like, it's just a little too much. But I still like the character. I still liked both Deadpool movies quite a bit, actually. But it's a little too much. Romulus Tooth is on the show Raised by Wolves. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then it got absorbed into a dead person, or a not dead person, and then it evolved into a creature and got shot in the head. Don't know why. Don't have an answer to that. Who knows? I don't. You don't. You never will either. You never will. I'm so sure about that. I'm so sure. Euphoria Season 2 was bad, but Season 2 Episode 1 was really good. I think Episode 1 had all the same problems. We just forgave them because it was all setting up those issues that we didn't like. It was pretty much them being like, this is where we're headed with all this, do you like it? And we all went, no, please don't do that. And then they did that, and then we all went, oh, what the fuck, dude? So I don't know, I think Episode 1 had just as many problems with it as the rest of the season. But I think each episode individually, with the exception of the second episode, I think they're all very good and like fun to watch. Romulus founded Rome. Mithraic is an ancient Roman religion. I know. But again, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean for the show, though? What does it mean? Okay, so oh my god, I can't talk. Romulus founded Rome, and the Mithraic religion was one of the main religions of Roman culture. So what the fuck does that mean? That the tooth of Romulus looked like it was made out of like digital little hexagons evaporate into the body of a supposed dead alien that then wakes up, mutates, and dies. What does that mean? There's no logical way to make that make sense. There's nothing. There's no way. There is no way they're ever going to explain it on this show. And if you ask me, that still doesn't make any sense. They're like, oh, it's just supposed to be like a vague sort of thing with the story of Romulus. I'm like, how does a tooth being turned into dust and being absorbed by an alien that then mutates and dies, how does it have anything to do with Romulus? Like, it just seems nonsensical. Have you seen something you really liked the past weeks besides yourself? Don't like myself that much either, so really liked the past few weeks. Well, Raised by Wolves is not doing it for me right now. Euphoria lost me in that last episode. I haven't seen any movies that I can think of. I've been playing Elden Ring and I've been enjoying that, so that's something I thought I was going to hate that I did actually like a lot, or am liking a lot. I'm very early in the game though, maybe I'll end up hating it later. Who knows? Superheroes in itself are campy, so it should be okay. You see, that's not entirely true. Superheroes can be campy. Certain characters are campy. certain characters are not and need to be taken more seriously than a campy ass movie that Sam Raimi usually does. Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, 100%, those are serious ass characters. I don't want to see a whole bunch of camp with those two. If they go camp, it better only be Wanda being evil as fuck, because that would be fun to watch. If it's anything else besides that, I'm gonna have a problem with it. Evil Dead and 2 are dumb, but I do agree it's fun. I don't think it's fun, but I do see why other people do. That's the whole point of Evil Dead, is to make fun of being campy. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I think there's a lot of satire and parodies out there that only became satires and parodies after the movie came out. And they were like, oops, people think this is dumb as fuck. Let's make it clear that, oh, that was our intention. Sure. I'm not saying that's what happened with Evil Dead. I will bet that movie was filmed in order to be campy and, you know, self-aware and all that. But just being self-aware of a shitty thing doesn't make me enjoy that shitty thing any less, you know? It's like, oh, make fun of it for a scene, and I'll be like, haha, that's funny, I enjoyed that. For a whole movie, you're just showing me the thing I already don't like. And you're right, camp is just a style. A style I don't like. A style I think is kind of shitty. So yeah, let's all talk about things we did enjoy this week. I honestly have been having a pretty bad week, so I'm gonna have to dig for it. Speaking of Deadpool, I would die for a Weapon X movie. I could live without it, but I would like that for sure. Well, I don't know. Depends on how they do it. They gotta cast the right people for the right roles, and the other X-Men movies have had a bad track record with that, but the MCU movies have been pretty good when it comes to casting, so we'll see. Vigilante is like a little kid mentally. I don't think he's like a Deadpool. He's not trying too hard to be funny. He's a good foil for Peacemaker. Oh, okay, so he's like a regressed child. That is definitely different than Deadpool. You got me there. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if that's going to make me like his character, though. Just because children can sometimes get on my nerves. But I'd be curious to see. You all seem to love him. There must be a reason. Also, the Peacemaker OP... Oh, the opening is pretty great. Yeah, I already got spoiled the opening. There was no way I wasn't going to get spoiled that, because literally the first thing that people talk about when it comes to Peacemaker is how it has the best opening of any show ever made. And then I go to watch it, and I'm like, that's pretty great. It's pretty funny. It's awesome. Definitely not the best ever made. Like, it got overhyped for me, once again. But it was really funny. I did enjoy it. I don't know if I would watch it every week and enjoy it, but for sure the one I watched, I was like, that's really funny. When season 2 started, I thought, oh no, they're abandoning the place they established so the writers can ignore it. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting out of it as well. They're like, okay, so we've explored a bunch of this shit up here in the northern hemisphere, and we don't have an answer to any of this shit, so let's go to the southern hemisphere. Or the tropic zone, whatever, the equator. And then we're going to do a bunch of wacky shit that's not going to have an explanation down here too. And then when we're done with this, we'll move to a new place. We'll do that maybe 2 or 3 more times. And then we'll wrap this show up. Like, I'm telling you, that's how it's going to go. I think snarky Snippy Michael is pretty entertaining. I would like to say these are always my thoughts. I rein it in. I try not to be a snarky, snippy asshole, but they're always there. This is just a, unfiltered consciousness right now. React to Scream 5. Too late, already watched it. Didn't like it. I thought, because again, it was just trying to nostalgia the fuck out of me. It was like, look, it's the characters from the original. It's so crazy. I'm like, yeah, they did that in Star Wars. They did that in fucking everything nowadays. Everything's getting a reboot or a remake. And then when people don't like that, they reboot it again, but with the original actors, and then everyone just goes ape shit over the the nostalgia train, and I'm just kind of over the nostalgia train. Like, you can only nostalgia me for so long. I was there. I lived it. I remember. If I'm really nostalgic over Scream, I would much rather watch Scream than Scream 5. Because why the fuck would I do that? Like, the thing that gives me nostalgia is Scream, so I'll just go watch the original. I'm just getting a little tired of all the nostalgia. Did I see the latest Spider-Man movie? Yes, and speaking of nostalgia train, I think that's a major reason I did not like that movie as much as other people did. I still really like Spider-Man No Way Home. I thought it was fun. I thought it was highly emotional during 2 parts of the movie. And, well, I mean, other than that, I thought the writing was pretty shoddy in Spider-Man. But I did have an issue with the nostalgia. I'm like, am I enjoying it? A little bit, because it is hitting my nostalgia button. But there's only so much of that I can handle. Like, the whole movie was just a nostalgia trip. And I'm like, that's just too much, man. Like, give me some nostalgia. Sure, why not? Don't literally make the whole movie nostalgia. Like, that's too much. You like Unfiltered, Michael? You probably won't if it lasts too long, because I'm an asshole sometimes. Like, I can genuinely get really fucking mean. I have definitely not gotten to that point right now, but I can very quickly hit that mode, so I'm trying my best not to do that. Also, Raised by Wolves, how they couldn't figure out the habitable zones before they crash landed with holographic all-knowing tech. Yeah, that is also a little weird. Although, wait, didn't they say they were going to land in the tropics, but then, Mother kind of fucked that shit right up? Bel Air is a great reboot. It cannot be. I'm sorry, there's no way that can be a great reboot. That was me being an asshole, I'm sorry. Let me look it up. What? Well, it's on Peacock, so that's an immediate problem right off the bat, because I don't have that, and I will not be getting it. What? Maybe it's one of those shows where when I actually watch it, I'll think it's good. Because every still I'm looking at really does not make me want to watch it. I'm assuming this has got to be Will Smith's kid, right? Like, it's his son. To which I say that dude does not look anything like Will Smith, but it's whatever. That's fine. Give me the news. That iCarly reboot was so ass. I didn't even like the original iCarly, so I didn't watch the reboot. Are you looking forward to the new Miles Morales movie? Very much so. I am very excited for that movie. I think that is going to be incredible. I think that is genuinely going to blow people's minds. I have a lot of faith in them after the first one, because I think that is, to this day, probably the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I don't know if I'm not a fan anymore, Toby. I'm gonna give it one more episode to kind of like correct it, but I really, really hate what they did in the last 2 episodes. So much so, it really might be the end of it for me. It really might. Drowning in old ideas equals current studio pictures. And you also don't have to leave if I'm not a fan anymore. Like, we can discuss it. I'm not gonna like attack you for liking it. If you enjoy it, that's cool. Drowning in old ideas equals current studio pictures. See, I don't even agree with that. There are so many stories that Hollywood can tell and has told, but for whatever reason, the money like what people want to watch right now is nostalgia. So that's all Hollywood is really putting their focus on is nostalgia trips, because that's what sells. I can't blame them for doing that, but I can blame all the people who go get their nostalgia trip from it, because you're the reason this shit is going on. I'm over the nostalgia. Peacock is free? Wait, what? Since when? Has it always been free? How can a streaming service be free? Of course, I search it and it's like, you mean like a regular Peacock? Like, no, I mean the service. God damn it. Watch for free. What is this? Oh. So you can watch for free, but then you get ads, and you also don't get to watch everything on the app. You don't get any live events. You aren't able to download the titles, which is a problem for me because I need to like use it for reactions for my channel. Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me, sorry. Maybe I'll watch it in my free time, just on my own, to see if I like it. It's okay to be snarky as long as you don't mind getting snarked back. I do mind getting snarked back. Like, I'll just continue to snark back and back and back and back until I get to the point where I say something so fucking mean that, like, that's the end of a friendship or a relationship. So that's why I'm like, you won't like me for very long. Only small doses of this mood is tolerable. Have you seen Mank by David Fincher as a side-along love letter to Citizen Kane? No. I'm a big fan of David Fincher, and I've never heard of that. Yeah, Miles Morales is going to be seen. Audience equals people equals money is hard all over. They want to watch something that has more guarantee that it will feel good. And yet we have shows like Raised by Wolves that's making me feel like shit. Explain that one to me. Alright, what are your thoughts on Cup? It's funny. It's entertaining. I don't really have much else beyond that. It's not a full explanation, it's just one part of it. Yeah. Yeah. People are in the mood to want to feel good right now. I get that. I would want to feel good after fucking Raised by Wolves episode. But nostalgia doesn't make me feel good. Like, actual, in my opinion, actual nostalgia makes me feel good. Like watching the original thing that I haven't seen in so many years. I'm like, oh wow, I remember how I felt when I watched this scene and that scene and this scene. What are you sorry for? So I don't know, like the little references or huge references throughout the movies, it's just getting a little distracting. Did you ever watch Black Sails? Nope. I was thinking about doing a rewatch. I don't know what it is. Mank is on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original or whatever they call it. So it was recently made? Or recently-ish, I mean, within the last like 10 years. Let's take some shots. I don't have alcohol, sorry. The super rich Ridley Scott is bankrolling his passion project. That's why it exists. What? I don't know what you mean by that. Just to recap for anyone that's popped in well after my explanation as to why Raised by Wolves has really, really pushed me out the door. What happened with Tempest Baby? Not a fan. Could survive that though. That was super, super fucked up, but I was willing to roll with it. And then Sue turning into a tree. Like, see, that right there is another issue I'm kind of having with this. Like, when I explain it to people, I'm like, oh, she turned into a tree. They're just like, okay, like that seems ridiculous and funny. Like, why is that freaking you out? I'm like, no, like, when I say that, you're not imagining her body twisting and mutating and turning from skin and bone and blood to skin and bone and blood and wood and whatever the fuck she's made of now. Like, I don't think people, like, really understand why body horror is so fucking horrible. Again, that's making me be like, I understand and you all don't. And that's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like, that's always where my head goes with body horror. Always. And it seems to not be the first place, like, any one of you went with that moment with Sue. And I don't know. It almost drives me a little crazy that I just feel like a crazy person right now, because almost everyone's like, what's the problem? Like, it's a show. I didn't like it either, but, you know, it's a show. Just relax. I can't. I cannot. Black Sails is pirate show, and it's led up to Treasure Island. It's a lead up to Treasure Island? I like the book, Treasure Island. Love the movie Treasure Planet. Not the biggest, like, pirate fan, but pirates are cool, I guess. I'd be willing to give it a shot. The super rich Ridley Scott is being released by... Oh, yeah. Still don't know what you mean by that, but... Have you seen 4 Rooms? It's a movie with 4 parts with different directors. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually call that a movie. But no, I have not seen that. Sounds interesting. I think it's most of us here on the same feelings about the last 2 episodes. Are you all, though? Again, I'm like, it seems like you're saying that, but I'm not really feeling the level of disgust from anyone over that. For at least for the same reasons. Like, I don't know. I feel fucking crazy. I actually feel kind of crazy right now. Cannot relax either. You obviously can relax a little bit though if you're able to continue watching the show with no problem. That's what I mean. Like, you're not as affected by this as I am if you are able to keep watching. I have literally hit a wall where it is so hard for me to pass it. I'm gonna force myself through that finale. Like, no matter what it takes, I will force myself through it, but I will not force myself through more if that also continues down this same route. You would want to turn into a tree. College quarantine hit different. I literally don't know what you're talking about. I'm still in episode 107, so I don't have much of an option. I'm not much into body horror either. You don't get much body horror in the first season. There is stuff in there, but the worst of it is like right in the middle of the finale, and there's like little bits and pieces of it throughout the other episodes. There's really not a whole lot in the first season. I think the worst bit of body horror in the first season was like a dream hallucination sequence. It was when Marcus like cut off his whole entire face. So I'm so sorry if I just spoiled that for you. But it was awful. Like, that was the most uncomfortable I had been on the show up to that point. Raised by Wolves has less studio involvement and a producer having free reign in his twisted ideas for the show. I'm starting to see why studio involvement is actually kind of important then, because this is too much free reign. It just makes no fucking sense. Thought that body horror was a beautiful avant-garde high fashion. Okay, shut up. I thought it jumped the shark. Honestly, I was most upset about the baby. I was most upset about that at first, but then the snake came into the play with the tree, and I was like, I actually just got sick. I actually almost just threw up right there, fucking thinking about it. Like, again, you all say, you know, we're with you. I'm like, you are not at this same level of disgusted by what happened there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Ugh. Tim Roth is good. Tim Roth and I have a love-hate relationship. I either love it or I hate it. Maybe I've been to so many shows like this before and I got used to it. I feel like I have to have watched more shows than... maybe that's... I don't know, man. Specifically during my college years, literally as part of homework, we watched so many shows, so many movies. I have seen so much stuff. Some of that was horrible. Like I said, I have seen a Serbian film that didn't even get anywhere remotely close to making me feel as bad as that shit was Sue and the Snake. You're not getting it. You're not. You don't know what I'm talking about, because, yeah, sure. I think you don't typically do this, but you could watch the teaser for the finale, so see how you feel. Oh, I already did. Because I needed that. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't think I can do it. And so I watched the teaser, and I was like, I don't see how it's going to be made better in the finale, but I didn't see anything I egregiously hated in that teaser. So I was like, alright, fuck it, let's go. Or I take that back. I did see the snake during at least one shot of that teaser, so I did see something that absolutely disgusted me. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it. What is body horror? Horror relating to your body. When a favorite character of mine got killed on book 14, I was crying for a month. Book 14? 14 of what? What are you talking about? This is too good. Let's get the bill per. Alright. What if you did someone already do this? Body horror where you replace blood with sparkles and guts are pretty bits of gold and silver. I mean, there's like a YouTube video called, what is it called? Psychedelic Warfare by Freddie Wong. It's like, you know, it's not a serious thing. It's like just a funny video, but it replaces all the blood splatters and everything with little flower petals and actual flowers that like shoot out of them. It was funny. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I went from really, really loving this season and the show as a whole, and I hate it now. I actually hate the show. I will force myself through that finale, and I am praying that there's a moment where it basically just clunks me on the top of the head with a club and says, haha, you made a lot of assumptions and you're fucking stupid because here's the answer that you were just begging for. And if they do that and they don't hit me with Grandmother Body Horror Season 3, maybe, just maybe, can make it into that third season. Don't watch Raised by Wolves, but I'm excited for you to upload the reaction so I can see your reaction to Sue turning into a tree or something. Yeah, like I said, I'm not promising episode 7's reaction. I will be able to get episode 6, because like I said, you don't see Sue turn into the tree, but you do see her get absorbed into the snake. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit that 7th episode. It might just be the final 2 episodes. I just have to talk about it on a stream, because I really don't know. Like going back and editing those things, it's basically just rewatching the episode again. Like the Euphoria episode with Rue, the 5th one, I re-cried while editing that so many times. And same thing happens with shit that freaks me out. I re-freak out all over again. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to put myself through that feeling of actual pain and discomfort just to get y'all a funny reaction. So I don't know. Thought we were going to see more action from Grandmother this season, but currently she's just standing around. I get the feeling the next episode's going to drastically change that. And also, they're dumb as fuck for, in the preview, showing her face. I'm like, you didn't think that would have been a cool reveal for anyone else? Because I went this whole season wondering, like, I wonder what she looks like underneath that. And then in the preview for the finale, they're like, oh yeah, this is what she looks like multiple times. Like, who the fuck edited that together? Because that's ridiculous. There was a comment that was deleted. What happened? Really loving something and then hating it is something I go through often with lots of books I read. You see, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm okay with hating what's happening in the story sometimes, unless you get to this level of body horror. But if I just hate the story as a whole, like I think it's not well made, then that's usually just a point where I'm like, alright, I'm just going to tap out. I think The Walking Dead is one of the rare exceptions to that, where I really, really pushed. I was like, no, I want to love this show all the way to the very end, so I'm going to just keep watching it. I'm going to keep going for it. And, yeah, finally lost me here in this last season, but yeah. YouTube should put it the option to put GIFs in live chat. They should. That'd be a good idea, actually. I mean, I can see people abusing that system way too much, but I think it would be fun. You saw that. Saw what? You're gonna go hard Cliffhangersville? They are. I'll make a bet with you all right now. I'll bet you in the finale, you don't get a single answer. I'll bet you don't learn a single thing. I think the answers you got this season are from what Grandmother told Mother in that last episode. I think that is the most you're gonna get. Everything else is just gonna be a, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened, cliffhanger. Can't believe that shit just happened, cliffhanger. And then just on and on and on, so that everyone feels a need to come back for season 3, even though to me it seems like there is no fucking reason to be watching this shit anymore. No plans on seeing this show, but I'll be coming back to your channel. Hell yes, thank you. By the way, where does the term 5th stage clinger come from? I don't know. I mean, there are 5 stages of grief. I don't know if that has anything to do with the 5th stage clinger. I don't know. Oh, Raimi, you want to go talk on Discord to Angel Lover, but you won't talk to me on Discord. Okay, I see. Like, I wish they don't cancel the show, but I don't know, this season sucked. Yeah. I didn't think the season sucked at all. I really liked it. And, yeah, I think they fucked it up. Like, here in the last 2 episodes. It's okay, Remy. I'm pretty anti-social media. You're canceling me? Didn't you already cancel me like 4 times? Be nice, Jim. I'm allowed to be a dick. None of you are. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. It's worth mentioning again that hate videos get more views equals more money. Apparently, every time I've made a video saying, I hate this, I don't like this, I get a lot of people who want to jump in and be like, you're fucking stupid, blah, and then dip out, but hey, I made a buck off of it, I guess. Which I don't like to do. I feel like I've made that clear before. I don't like to make controversial materials just to get money or benefit from it. I'm like, I benefit from getting like feedback from people saying like, I love this, that was cool, I want to talk to you about this. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel like that was worth it. Getting a paycheck just to get shit on, not so much. It's gonna be a blue laser activated by the lizard. If they do a blue laser in the sky in this fucking show, I will turn the finale off as it's happening. I'll be like, nope, that is, these writers are fucking incompetent, is what they are. Like, I swear to God, if they hit me with a blue laser in the sky by the fucking snake in that finale, I swear to God, like, I will, at that point, make it my goal to trash that show every chance I get. Like, ooh, that will piss me off if they do that shit. Just because that's stupid. Like, that's not a, like, oh, my poor body horror heart. I'm like, just a blue laser thing and fucking Raised by Wolves, that would destroy the show for me. You know it's beef. I don't know why you think I'm gonna take my foot off your neck. I literally don't know what you're talking about. You're actually just confusing me and kind of pissing me off. I remember the Euphoria stream a week or so ago. Yeah, I think I was less pissed off during that actually than I am during this. I think. Like, for that, I was upset during like the first 45 minutes, hour maybe. We have been going 2 hours and I am still upset about all this. So far, this venting has not been exactly helping. I'm sure it will. I'm sure we will reach that point, but that's why I haven't ended the stream, because I'm like, I still feel real fucking mad, and I'm really upset, so let's keep it going. The therapy has not worked yet. I'd be fascinated if the show isn't canceled to see it all at once. Maybe. The Euphoria stream did get views. Ridley Scott may have enough money to throw out season 3, but the studio will insist it's going to be the last. I don't know if they're getting that season 3. I really don't. They had to fight to get season 2. And for good reason, too, because they didn't answer fucking anything in the first season. And here we are at the end of season 2, and still nothing, so I really don't know. I don't know if they're getting a season 3. I think this next episode actually might be the last one of the show. I'd rather have a crap ending than no ending. Yep, that's literally what I was saying earlier. Give me something. But I'm telling you, you get a season 3 out of the show, I still don't think you're getting a crap ending. I think you're still getting no ending, because they're just going to be like... You can't explain God. Shit just happens. Which is not an ending. My understanding is Ridley Scott is only as good as the script. I mean, he doesn't... sort of. I'll binge watch it when it's over, but I better see at least one dead baby. You for sure at least see the two dead babies of non-humans. Or... yeah, I'll just leave it at that so I don't spoil anything. Did you see The Last Duel by Ridley Scott? No. Ridley Scott's not one of my favorite directors, personally. After Exodus, I lost a lot of faith in him. Huh, interesting. So it's very recent. Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Jodie Comer, and Ben Affleck. All solid actors. Oh, they got Alex Lothar in there. Jesus, that sounded like an animal. No, I have not seen that. I'll binge watch it. Yeah. I honestly won't mind if they ended on season 2. I would hate that. Especially if they plan it that way. If they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna wrap it up. Let this finale be the end of it. They better spend the whole hour explaining everything to me. Because I swear to God, if I've just spent 18 hours on this fucking show to not get an answer to a single question, that is really frustrating. Really frustrating. The show makes me think Prometheus and how they never got explained as well. I never watched the sequel to Prometheus, so I don't know if they even attempted an explanation for that shit. But for that movie, I felt like they gave me sort of enough. They were like, yes, these are the creators of humanity. This is how they did it. Why is it trying to kill you now? Why are they, fucking whatever? Who fucking knows? That's a level of ambiguity that I can sort of get behind. I'm like, I still got the answer as to who are these other aliens? What the fuck? I know who they are. I know they're the creators of humanity. I know that they use their own DNA to do it. Blah, blah, blah. I got the answers I really, really needed. But then a lot of other shit, I was like, I don't know, that's pretty out there. And I was okay with that. But like I said, I never watched the other one. What was it called? Like Alien Covenant was the next one or some shit. You should watch Killing Eve, so good. The vibe of that show, I don't know how to describe it. There's something about it that makes me not want to watch it. But I have been told by so many people that it is good that I will. Also, Ridley is an angry 70-plus-year-old who says Deckard in the original Blade Runner is a replicant. The writers say Ridley's wrong. Yeah. I always forget that he was involved with Blade Runner. You're gonna love Killing Eve. Killing Eve is only good for one season. Ooh. Killing Eve is the same thing, no ending of a story. I'm not gonna watch it then. I'm not gonna watch it. I liked every season of Killing Eve. You all are saying completely different things about the show. So how about this? Don't tell me if you like the show or not. Tell me, does it have an ending? And not it's a little ambiguous, figure it out. An ending that tells me where my characters ended up and how. Is it stupid? I don't fucking care. Does it have an ending? Tell me that right now. Otherwise, I'm not watching it. But at least Millennial Season 1 and 2 is fun to watch. You tried to rate Killing Eve. I don't know what the hell it just auto-corrected that to. It hasn't ended yet. So it's ongoing? I saw The Last Duel. It was boring and overlong. Interesting. Everything is so divisive now. That's what I was saying. Seeing all the Killing Eve stuff, I was like, is there a single consensus on this show? The same writer of Killing Eve wrote Fleabag, which was great. I have heard very, very good things about Fleabag. Black Sails has an ending. Okay. I really love the first half of Prometheus. Yeah, I would agree. The first half is really interesting and cool, and then the ending doesn't quite stick the landing, but it doesn't totally fumble it up. It's like I said, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not even bad, I don't think. I actually thought Prometheus was pretty alright. Oh, but you know what it had plenty of? Some fucked up body horror that almost had me walk out of the theater at one point. I'm not kidding. When she... I can't even... No, I'm not going to say it. I literally can't talk about it. That just made me feel like I was going to throw up. Can't do it. It hasn't ended yet. We have 5 episodes left. Okay, well, tell me in 5 weeks' time whether it has an ending. I think there's one more season still to air, but I stopped after season 2. It was a long time ago. So pivot. Have you watched Kenobi trailer? Yes. I tried not to. I couldn't help it. And when I tell you I'm excited, that is a gross understatement. I am through the roof hyped for that show after that trailer. Because I'll be honest, hearing that, Obi-Wan's going to be about Obi-Wan after, the original trilogy, after the prequel trilogy, taking care of, looking after young Luke, from a distance. I thought that sounds so fucking boring. Why would I watch a show about that? I know that nothing happens in those 30 years, or nothing so important with Obi-Wan that this is a necessary show. And then I saw that trailer, and I was like, what? Because not only does it get Obi-Wan involved in a new conflict in a way that I think does make sense, but the new conflict are the fucking Inquisitors. Like, oh my god, yes. I saw the Grand Inquisitor live action, and I was like, I freaked out, dude. I think I freaked out more watching that trailer than I did the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness trailer, which I freaked out at that shit. So yes, I'm very hyped for it. This is last season of Killing Eve. All right, so we're about to do it. The alien birthing thing was pretty messed up. Yeah, that's what I can't talk about, because I can't even like imagine it. It's, again, I feel it. I feel something moving around like in my belly. Ugh. Okay, I can't. I have to move on. Killing Eve does not have an ending as of yet. I don't like it much, but okay. Alright. Well, there are some important things that happened. I'm excited seeing it on live action. It's like, there's some important things. Like, it's all the important things that led to the shit that could happen in the movies, you know? Like, is it important? Yes. Is it as important as, like, the reveal of Darth Vader being Luke's dad or anything? No. What do you think about the song Old Friend by Phyllis Hyman? I don't know if I've heard it. Let me listen to it right now. Why is that on my recommended? Hold on, I have to take a look at my recommended here. What the fuck is this shit? Best scene from Spider-Man No Way Home. I guess that makes sense. There's my music. Got a PewDiePie video, which is a little odd because I haven't watched PewDiePie in like over a year or something. Screen Crush, that makes sense. Elden Ring, that makes sense. But this one, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's Dick Grayson meets Damien for the first time. I haven't like specifically been all in on Batman or anything here lately. I don't know. I just get a little weirded out by the recommendations. I try to figure out why the algorithm does what it does. Anyways, let's look up this song. Old Friend by Phyllis Hyman. Is it bad that I'm like a child when I see the name Hyman and I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, this sounds really familiar. Did they put this in a show here recently? This sounds super familiar. I'm almost positive I've heard this. I think this is a song that actually makes me cry just listening to it. If I recall this being the right song. Anyways, I'm back in my nice era. It's alright. I'm not gonna deny that you were, though. Like, it makes sense they didn't stop searching for Obi-Wan. Yeah, that's true. I know it's annoying to most, and I completely understand there are comics and books about this time period. Yeah, to me, that's just the fact that there are comics and books about all this shit. It just gets old. Again, I'm like, if it's important to the story, show me in the movie. Show me in the main show. Don't, like, try to explain it all in comics and books and all that. But I also recognize that there is a lot of stuff in that time jump that could be explored, so why not? And now we're getting, you know, like a full show about it, so why not? I really think you'll love Fleabag. I probably will. Her last name is funny. Who? You're the cunt, bitch! Sorry. You did call me out there. I had to be go full Maddie for it. Angel Lover, what are you referencing? That was a full-on Jerry Springer moment. I still say that finale was overall quite disappointing, but there were some moments in there that I enjoyed quite a lot. I literally don't know what some of you were saying though. Like Michael and Marlon, but her last name is funny. Who are you talking about? An Angel Lover? Oh, okay. You're referencing Fleabag. Sluts? Yes? I'm curious to see what that's supposed to be. I think you'd love the song CPR. Would I though? Would I? I'm not so sure. Holy shit, when did I have 27 people watching? It sounds kind of depressing when I say it like that. Like, yeah, you only had 27 people, relax. I'm like, the normal amount is like 20 though. I mean, I'm in a shit mood right now, so I don't know if her music is really gonna do it for me right now. I might just go super hardcore critical on this. So we're gonna do it. I'm in a shit mood. Let's just roll with it. Let's take advantage of a bad mood and be really, really critical of stuff. That's alright. I'm waiting for this drop. See if it's any good. Ooh, okay, that's actually really good. Alright, you got me. That's good. I like that. As soon as it hits the the verses right in the middle and just goes full bass on the beat, that's really good. That's funny too. Alright, that's good. I like it. I'll let it keep playing. Alexa, play CPR. Unpopular opinion. I think Cal's storyline was not needed. I think it was. They should have focused on Rue's mother and Gia, and I was referring to Phyllis Hyman. Oh, you were? Oh, okay, because I made the Hyman joke. That's right. Okay. I think Cal's storyline was necessary. Yeah, this chorus is really good on this song. I'm not even laughing at the song like I normally would for the lyrics because they're so funny. I'm just sitting here this is a fucking bop. It's a British show, Fleabag. That's really good. I know. We were already discussing it. Yeah, I will be watching Fleabag. I was recommended that by my roommate's parents. And they never recommend anything to me, so it stood out. I made sure to put that on the list. We can make this. We can make that the stream. Let's find something to shit on. I mean, I'm totally down for that. What's something you all think I could just shit on? It has to be something relatively easy to find and watch, because I'm not in the mood to open up a million apps. Gia was focused on in season 1, and the mother was in a decent amount of season 1 and 2. I feel like Gia has not been the focus of either season, nor has the mother. I would honestly say Gia and the mother got a bigger role in season 2 than they did in season 1. What is this part of the song? It's just her moaning right now. Oh, that beat is so good, dude. It's not even super complex or anything. It's just sometimes simple is better. If you're really mad, you should watch Spaced, a UK show from the 2000s. That actually sounds familiar. I think I've seen it. No, wait, no, I haven't. Wait, is that super fucking not funny comedian? Oh, it is both of them. Okay. I don't think they're that funny. I don't hate them. They're not like the actors I discussed earlier where I'm like, oh, I hate them. I'll never watch it. But I don't think Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are that funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I know there's at least one person who is upset about that comment just because there's always one hyper fan of Shaun of the Dead. I don't think they're funny. I don't think they're funny. I think Fleabag is like 6 episodes per season and 30 minutes per episode. Oh, damn, so I'm gonna blow through that show. I want to see you shit on The Flash. I hate that show. I kind of hate that show too. I'd be down to watch a scene or two. Alexa play Nightmares on Wax. Cupcake serious music. Eats I recommend cartoons. Oh, this song. I'm down for the one. I want to miss to like a new artist though. Want to float around. Inside number 9. Why does that sound so familiar? That sounds really familiar. Everything that has been posted here recently, I'm like, I know that. But what from? Oh, he's such a cute old man. Derek Jacobi. I can't remember all the things I've seen him in, but every time I see him, I'm like, oh, such a little old man. It must be somehow related to Fleabag because it's in the related search. Oh, I just remembered another reason to be in a pissy mood right now. It's time to turn all our clocks forward. 2 a.m. tonight. Happy daylight savings time for whatever fucking reason. So I will be losing an hour of sleep tonight. One more thing to be happy about. Right. Am I the only one that is sick and tired of people talking about Euphoria? I'm proud to say I haven't even seen a single minute of that show. I think it's kind of silly to be proud that you've never seen it. I'm like, if you don't want to watch it, that's fine, but I think it's kind of silly to be like, I'm like better than you because I've never watched it. I'm like, okay. Just saying. You didn't like Shaun of the Dead? Not really. Who actually likes James Corden? Who the fuck was talking about James Corden? It sounds familiar because I mentioned it a bunch of times. No, I saw you mentioning it earlier, but the first time you put it down, I was like, where have I seen that before? I'm not an idiot, thank you. It sounds familiar. Okay, Michael, you have to react to the Great Wide Wonder scene of The Boys Presents Diabolic. I don't want to watch that show. It still seems like such an obvious, like, oh, well, Invincible was really fucking awesome, so we're just going to do the same thing. Stupid. Fleabag is awesome. Did I say it wasn't? My birthday spins back in 2 days. Oh, damn. It's already time for your birthday again. Ugh. Yes, it makes me feel old. Take no offense. Why don't you think they're funny? I'm curious. I don't know. They just don't make me laugh. Like, they're the kind of quippy people where it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like really dry, sardonic, quip, punchline, move along. And I know that's technically all comedy, but for them, I can like see the structure of like the scene or the joke as they're saying it, and I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Comedy is super subjective though. Like, so many people can love one comedian and a whole other group of people just absolutely hate them and not find them funny in the slightest. So that's just me. Tomorrow night, not tonight for the time change. Wait, are you being serious? That'll immediately turn my mood around. Please tell me you're being serious. My manager freaked me out, being like, "What's happening tonight? Don't forget. Daylight savings time will be at 2 a.m. on Sunday. So not tonight." Yes. Yes. Thank you. Alright, that improved my mood just a bit right there. It's okay giving up this 1 hour if we never change the time again. That's what I'm fucking saying. But we gotta do this shit twice a year, every year, for no reason. A confused Asian here. You know what it is, you just don't have it. It's in different art styles. It's an anthology. Only one episode has the boys style animation. One has a Rick and Morty style and an anime style episode, and a Looney Tunes one. Well, that sounds like they're copying the Star Wars show that just came out. What is it called? Visions? Because that was their whole thing. Like, ooh, it's in all these different styles. I mean, obviously it wasn't the first show to do that, so it'd be difficult to say who copied who. But again, the boys already got compared so much to Invincible as soon as Invincible came out that there's no way they made an animated show about the boys without that being a forefront reason for it. Oh, you retracting? What'd you retract? Big 19 next year. I'll be 20. I can't stand it. And you're turning 19. Relax. You're about to be old enough to actually live your life. Like, you're almost ready to start living. So you don't like British humor? No, there's a lot of British humor I really like. Because there is a lot of really dry, sardonic British humor that is fucking awesome. And then there's Shaun of the Dead with those two. And I'm just like... I'll laugh a little. It's not like I'm just stone-faced through the whole thing, but there's a lot of jokes that just don't land for me. Did you like the Scott Pilgrim movie? I fucking love that movie. I think that's one of the best movies literally ever made. I actually believe that, too. Sounds like the Animatrix. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's old as shit now. Or, wait, is it? I want to say the Animatrix came out like in 2000 whatever. Yeah, 2003. Okay, that is. I know they've come out with so many new Matrix stuff that I'm like, I don't know if they're talking about something new now. Invincible was mid to ends. I think The Boys is absolutely better. I think Invincible is better, but I think both shows are kind of mid. I think they are both like unbelievably overhyped. Both of them. I do like Invincible better though. Like if I were to see either show get that amount of hype, I think Invincible is the one that deserves it more, but I don't think either of those shows deserve just how much praise and like hype that they get. This is the craziest, best superhero show ever made. Nope. It's a no to both of those. It sounds like the After Party that just came out. Every episode is a different genre. Interesting. And you're about to be 30. Yep, thanks for reminding me, asshole. And I'm actually calling you an asshole because I don't like to be reminded about how fucking old I am. It's different styles like Animatrix and Love, Death, Robots. Ah, fuck, I still haven't watched Love, Death, Robots. The way I've never seen... I don't want to... Whatever. 20-year-olds, I was there. Yeah, exactly. Gonna watch the Witcher prequel show? Maybe. I already know the story, though. I'm like, I played the games. I remember... I played the games. I've read 2 of the books now, so I'm like, I know what happened. There were a bunch of people that showed up and killed a lot of the Witchers and ruined their ability to make more Witchers. Some people got this, like, the big trademark scars that they have nowadays, and that's that. Like, I don't 100% see the reason in watching it. Okay. Animatrix. Read both comic series and think Invincible has the better source material. The Boys series is a fantastic adaptation, though. So far, I would say yes. I think it's very, very different from the source material, though. In some ways. They fixed a lot of the cringe stuff in The Boys. Oh, I do agree with that. Okay, I agree with that 100%. I think they did fix a lot of the try-hard shit that was in the comics. Like, that's another thing I feel with The Boys. Like, The Boys and Invincible both have their moments where I'm like, you were trying so hard to be so edgy. Which, again, like, can edgy, dark stuff be cool? Absolutely. But not when you're trying that hard and you're like, ooh, look how, ooh, that's just so fucking cool and edgy, right? I'm like, dude, you gotta chill. Everyone needs to chill. Animatrix was slightly after the night. Yeah. The Witcher anime has great fight scenes. BOTS series is way better. BOTS? Oh, boys. I thought you were trying to say, like, Breath of the Wild or something. I'm like, there's a series for that? Still haven't beat that game. Will I? If I'm being honest, maybe not. But I would like to continue. I finally got to a point where I was like, oh, I enjoyed this game. Because, like, you guys know full well the first, like, well, what was it? Like, the first 9 or 12 hours of the game, I was like, I don't like this. I don't think this is very good. And then it finally clicked for me at a certain point. The Boys series is better than the comics. I haven't read all the comics, so I can't 100% say whether that's true or not. The Witcher anime has... I did like the Witcher Night the Wolf anime. It was nice. But what's the point? I'm still just like... I know like how it all wraps up. Which is an issue I have with prequel stories in general. Because I'm like, why do I care if I know exactly where it's going to end? Because that's where the show I watched started, you know? Or the book, or the, you know, whatever. So I'm like, I'm not necessarily saying the Witcher anime is bad or anything. It might be quite good. I'm just like, I don't 100% see why it's a thing. Kill Bill had an anime, it would be over for every other anime. I feel like it would actually not really work for anime. Comics of the Boys are just ballistic, like that's something that tries too hard to be edgy. They have a guy humping a meteor. Humping a meteor? That honestly, that sounds like some shit they would do on the show, to be perfectly honest. The Castlevania live action would eat it. I don't think they'd be able to do that in live action and still have it be like super, super cool. I think it works as well as it does because it's animated. The Animatrix was full of great ideas. I never actually watched The Animatrix. I only remember seeing trailers for it as a kid. Like, I was very young when that came out. It came out in 2003, so what would I have been? 10 years old, exactly. Yeah, there's no way. I did watch the other Matrix movies, but I had no interest in watching The Animatrix. See, Castlevania, the anime, that's quite good. That's very good. I regret not doing it for the channel, but Yeah, I don't know if live action for that would work, honestly. There might be a way to make that work. It's not like the characters are like ridiculous anime looking characters. They look pretty like, oh yeah, that's a person right there. So they could definitely find people in the roles to look really somewhat like the anime's version. It's just the movements of like the magic in particular. I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that in live action. I don't know. If The Witcher can work in live action, then so can Castlevania. I feel like they're very different. And there's definitely similarities, but I think there's a big difference in the two. Oh, really? The Witcher can work in live action. Yeah. What is the point of Castlevania? What's the story? That's a little complicated. I don't know how to say it without just 100% spoiling the whole show. Smoke it up and go to bed. Why are you telling me to go to bed? Can't explain the story of Castlevania, but it's good, just know that. You know, it's kind of how I feel about it too. I'm like, it would take so much to explain it. It wouldn't take that much. I make it sound like it's the most complicated story of all time, but it's just so hard to not spoil what the fuck is happening in an explanation of what the show is about. There has to be like a simple way to explain it. They're going to... I feel like that's... They are going to kill a vampire. That is the only way I can think of explaining that without spoiling the shit out of it. Animatrix, the only anime you like? That's not an anime, is it? Well, it is called Animatrix, so I think it's a definite possibility. I thought it was like all like a weird digital look to it, though. Oh, well, it does, but... Okay, so there are parts of the movie, at the very least, that are absolutely anime. It looks like it might just be the whole movie. There is so much going on in every picture I'm looking at here. I'm like, is it like a samurai show or a futuristic one? What the fuck is going on? I don't see how it relates to the Matrix. It's getting late for me, so I'm gonna get off. Good night. Actually, okay, so basically this vampire guy meets a human woman who loves medicine. They get together. See, you're already giving way too much away. Way too much away. Way too much. A good vampire hunting movie in an awesome high fantasy setting. That's a good way to put it. Good night, angel lover. It was done by different anime studios. That's kind of cool. It's fun. What do you mean it's impossible? I already did it for you. Less is more. Less is more. It is 4 episodes. That's why I said less is more. Taking a ride with your best friend. Are you like riding your best friend, or are you like in the car with your best friend? One is much more exciting than the other. Girl, you didn't do nothing. I literally... Okay. I will say... This is not to call anybody out. Maybe a little bit, but not like for real, for real. I think it's kind of funny that the whole point of this stream was for me to vent out my feelings about Raised by Wolves, but after venting those feelings and still not changing my mind about them, everyone was like, let's talk about something else. It's It's an observation I made. Because with the Euphoria video, I was pretty pissed. We talked about it, and then by the end of it, or like an hour into it, I was like, okay, I see your point. I see this. I still feel this way, but we're good. Blah, blah, blah. Here now, I'm like, no, I really fucking hate that, and literally nothing any of you have said has changed my opinion on that. That was when everyone was like, all right, yeah, let's talk about something else. Which, fair enough, I guess, but still. Maybe that's why. Quite possibly. You feel bad and hate it. I thought the whole point was you don't hate it though. I think we're going to change your opinion. I didn't like it either, but differently, and that didn't seem to help you. Yeah, no, not really. Oh, shit. Oops. I guess what I wanted was for more people to explain why they're cool with it. Like that is more where I'm at, because you basically are all just like, well, I liked it, and I'm like, can you explain to me why? Can you explain to me why that level of body horror doesn't bother you? I'm not necessarily saying anyone is wrong or right for anything. I am so curious as to how that is not a huge problem with people. Personally, there's nothing for me to say. I have low hopes for the finale. I feel like at the start of the stream, you were not of that mindset. So if I swayed you to that opinion, I am sorry. I'm not cool with it. Yeah. Okay. I hate it. I'm just not as expressive as you. I like talking to you in the long term. What does that mean? I hate body horror. Y'all. I appreciate what they're trying to do and still impressed with the actor performances. What do you think they're trying to do? Like, again, I know I'm like, it sounds like I'm attacking you. I swear to God, I am not like, just like, fuck you and your opinions. I swear to God, I'm not doing that. But I'm like, I'm not understanding what you're seeing when you say what they're trying to do. The actors, 100%. I think the acting on the show is really, really top notch. I'm not really sure what you mean though by like what the show is trying to do, because at this point I'm like, I don't understand. I don't think anyone understands what the show is. So I don't know what it's trying to do. So if you can enlighten me on that, please. Body horror isn't really all that weird or creepy to me. Well, that's interesting. Just partition my mind more than others. I'm pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD. I think that is like the definition of partitioning one's mind. It's certainly not helping me. But I suppose ADHD does make you hyper focus on certain things. So partitioned, yes, but you're stuck on that partition for however long. Do you know Depeche Mode, the band? I've heard the name. Don't know if that's actually the name of the band or what that is. So, no, I can't say I'm a fan. Oh, Gene Lex, you do? Oh, God. Body horror doesn't bother me because our own bodies are crazy gross. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, our bodies are very gross, and that's one reason why it bothers me. It's kind of funny that my reason why it bothers me is your reason why it doesn't. Really? But see, I don't want to say, like, I have ADHD. I just feel pretty confident that I do. I've never actually gotten it diagnosed, though. Or medicated. Again, this is something I've been through before. Sometimes the author or producers just want to do weird shit and see how it looks. Okay. Respectfully, I'm glad you feel that way about it. Also respectfully, I do not find value in weird shit because it looks cool. I think that's kind of dumb, but I'm glad you do see a value in that. I don't really mind body horror, to be honest. Most of the games I play involves body horror in some extent. Games, though, it doesn't... Like, it looks quite obviously fake in a lot of games, to the point where I'm like, okay, that's so not even remotely possible. My body's not made out of a bunch of fucking pixels and shit. So it doesn't bother me as much in games usually. Emphasis on usually. There are exceptions to that. The Last of Us Part 2 actually has a couple more like implied body horror things that really, really freak me out. But body horror is not like a main theme of those or anything. Don't know what they're trying to do. Hated the baby stuff, the tree stuff, and I also don't think they have a plan. I've invested time this season, so I will watch one more episode, but maybe done after. That's where I'm at. It does not seem like there's a plan. The shit they did with the baby, almost especially because they resolved it in the episode right afterwards, I'm like, so why? Like, why did we do that? I mean, I guess it does make it clear to them, like, okay, yeah, they're taking regular human babies and then they're mutating them into whatever the fuck they are. To which I'm like, okay, well, I know why it took the baby, so cool. And I know how they're technically, like, born, I guess. But why? Who are they? Where do they come from? Are they also devolved humans? It kind of seems like that's the case, but it seems like they've also gone out of their way this season to differentiate the mermaid people to the dog-like people, up further north. And, well, see, that's the thing. We weren't further north. Down in the temple here in the south, you saw one of those, as he rapidly devolved for whatever reason. So there's so many contradictions I've seen on stuff already that I'm like, there's no way they have a plan for this. There is no way. No fucking way. Emotions and ranting and speaking your mind is not encouraged in Asian cultures. We just say, it's okay, and move on. That's how you get real fucked in the head. I'm not trying to shit on Asian cultures, but that is not healthy to not express yourself at all and just say, it's okay, and then just eat shit all the time. I do dumb shit and create shit art just because I want to see it created. A lot of creators do that, and Ridley Scott feels like one of those weird people. Okay. I don't get that, but okay. Like, I'm an artist too. Like, I actually do create art of my own. The thought of just making random shit, like, I don't know. My brain needs more constructiveness to it to just have something for the fuck of it. Like, I don't know. For a story anyways, like, that does not work for me. You've been too long awake. Why do you keep saying that? I will not be going to bed for another 4 hours probably, regardless of when I end this stream or not. It is 9:30 over here. Relax. You worked for a private yacht club. I Wonder what that's like. It's all out in the public and it's open to criticism and ridicule. That's something the creator will have to live with. Yeah. It's impressive how useless these people are. Who are you talking about? You're fucked up in the head here. I don't think you're fucked in the head. I just don't get it. I'm at a full stop. I don't get. Just the stuff. Like Andy Warhol and other very, very surreal like art. It just don't do it for me. It just don't do it for me. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that's not art, because, you know, art is what you feel art is. But I don't get that. I don't. I look at it and I'm like, that's a bunch of colorful swirls. You know, that's a bunch of shapes stacked on each other. And they're like, oh, well, you're supposed to find your own kind of meaning to it. I'm like, there's no meaning to that. It's just fucking whatever. Like, I don't know. My brain can't do it. I can't see the value in just completely abstract art that I could never come up with an actual reason for. But, again, let me clarify. I don't think there's anything wrong with people thinking that that is art and that they do enjoy it. I just don't. Michael got a man, I would live very much couples channel. I don't, so. There are a lot of things in the world we won't get, and that's okay. I don't agree with you that that's okay. I'm sorry, I actually don't agree with that. I have had that opinion for a long time, though, and that will forever fuck me up in the world, because you're right, there are so many things in the world that we will never get, and the way to move on with your life is to say that that's okay, even though it's not, because I want to know what the fuck this or that or this is. And the fact that I just never will actually really bothers me. At the end of the day, the show gave us all a chance to have this conversation, and it's a good thing. The show actually physically hurt me with what happened in it, so I don't know if I agree with that either. I do agree having this conversation is nice. Having something to watch together is nice, but again, that level of body horror, like, it physically hurt me to the point I had to stop the show. I had to get the fuck out of the room. I was about to have a panic attack because I was physically hurting. So, nah. You'll settle down sooner or later. I thought for sure I'd be settled by now. Not like in the stream. I just mean like I had the whole day to like think about it and like chill the fuck out. I'm still just as upset about it. And like I said, there has never been a show that has like affected me that much. I deserve to get everything in the world, but what do I know? I don't want everything in the world. I want an answer to everything in the world. You need some milk. Milk would make me feel so bloated right now. I'm trying to think of another conversation that we could have to move out of Raised by Wolves, just because I think it is firmly established at this point. I am very, very upset. That's not going to change. I feel like I'm just upsetting other people now by talking about it. So I'm just trying to come up with something else we could talk about that I actually want to. See, Multiverse of Madness, it's just going to be us theorizing this, or that, and then we all end up getting proven wrong anyways. So, waste of time. Something else. Not you in your lactose intolerant era. Yeah, as soon as I turned 18, that happened. Not very fun. I mean, we've all talked Euphoria to death, so I think we're done with that. I don't know. We could talk about Atlanta, maybe. What we think is going on in season 3, but again, that's all just speculation, and then we all get proven wrong when the episodes come around. So I don't know. I didn't like Spider-Man No Way Home. Who's with me? I didn't hate it. I didn't not like it, but I didn't love it like other people did. How about we talk about Val's B-Day? Like what streaming planning? When did you say it was? Tomorrow or the day after? Because if it's either of those days, I cannot do a stream for you. I'm sorry. You hadn't seen Atlanta just in time? You really should. That show's very, very good. Funny, well put together. I actually understand the purpose of the fucking show, so that's nice. No Way Home has a clear copy now for those who sail the high seas. Oh, and that was a really clever way to say that, Remy. March 14th. Oh, maybe I can do a stream. There's definitely something I'm supposed to do on Monday, and I need to remember what it is. I might be able to do a stream on that day. I don't know for sure. I just got back from a Billie Eilish concert. Oh, really? Never been a huge fan of Billie Eilish, but don't dislike her music. Joseph is here. Say hi to Joseph. Hi, Joseph. Is it pronounced like that, or is it Yosef? I'll just say both. Hi, Joseph, and hi, Yosef, whichever one is correct. I'm gonna watch it tonight since I never got to see No Way Home. I'm excited. I don't like Spider-Man, but I have faith the movie is good. I think you'll enjoy yourself. I don't think it's a good movie, though. I think writing-wise, there's a critical flaw in the movie, but overall, it's a very enjoyable movie, and I still liked it. I would love to see literally anybody else in concert. Oh, you mean just besides Billie Eilish? Don't be mean. If they enjoyed their Billie Eilish, then let them enjoy it. Joseph got shocked, thank you. Which one is right? Is it Yosef or is it Joseph? The way it's spelled, it's telling me it's Yosef, but I'm like, I don't know for sure. It was really fun. I haven't been around a crowd since COVID, so it was extra fun. Good, I'm glad you had fun. I was so nervous the first crowd that I went next to. You know what would make you laugh? Watch Zavid Texas Massacre reaction. That does sound pretty funny, actually. He does not seem like a person who would watch that. Why did it? Well, he loves Chucky, so I guess he likes his slashers. Sure, I'll watch it right now. Zavid makes me happy. Puts me in a good mood. Hopefully, I do the same for other people when they watch my show. Zavid, Texas. Why isn't it popping up at all? Oh, 2 weeks ago, so it's pretty recent. Let's go. I'll have to watch the whole intro later when I have time to just sit there and enjoy it. Alright, this might be something to watch in just a little bit. I don't like to watch just stuff on stream, you know? Why do I have a couple of those live reactions, but I doubt I'll do a live reaction ever again. Not that I hated it, it's just, it seemed kind of pointless. Spider-Man No Way Home felt like a kid's movie to me. The only time I agree with that is when Peter is beating a certain character like to death at the end of the movie, and then you finally see that character and there's not a drop of blood. I was like, okay. You definitely sold that to me like he was killing him, and he looks completely fine. So that was kind of dumb. No, I would love to see Dua Peep in concert, but don't take me to see Travis. Okay. Second one. Yeah. Oh, so it is Yosef. Yes. First concert I've ever went to was a Bobby Shmurda concert. Really? Are you being serious? My first concert ever was Maroon 5. Aw, thank you, Ramy. What's up, Levon? You missed me ranting for a long time. I love David. I didn't know that's who y'all was talking about. Yup. I've liked David's stuff for a while now, but as of recently, been watching a bit more. Although it's kind of annoying because his editing style is something that I was literally thinking about doing myself. I'm like, I'm just gonna throw like fucking memes all up in this bitch. And then I started watching a bunch of his stuff, and I was like, well, can't do that now because I'll just be copying him. If any of you know who Joe Coy is, I ran into him at Barnes & Noble this afternoon and he told me that he was having a stand-up performance tonight. I don't know who that is. I'm seeing Batman tomorrow. Have you seen it? Nope. But I've heard it's good. I'm excited for it. I think it's actually going to be pretty good. He invited my fiance and I to a VIP experience. He gave us seats, merch. We got to hang out backstage after the show. Aw. Sounds like a good day. Sounds like you and Just Duet had a very good day. I'm dead serious, and then my next one was Lady Gaga, and the one after that was City Girls. Damn. Alright, that's not bad. Had a hard time finding stand-up comedians funny. I agree. When someone's trying to make me laugh, that's when it is hardest to actually get me to laugh. I laugh hardest in like scenes in movies and shows so much more because it's just, usually anyways, it's like a natural part of the conversation and it catches me off guard. I'm like, oh, that was funny. When it's a comedian, I'm sitting there waiting for the funny. I'm just like, come on, make me laugh. That's your whole job. Make me laugh. Come on. And it's so much harder for me to enjoy a comedian as opposed to like an actor doing something funny. It was at the same theater that I watched Gladys Knight perform. Really? I know Gladys Knight. Oh no, Coy is hilarious. Alright. Alright. I don't like stand-up anyways, it's just not funny to me unless someone else is laughing. Well, usually there is. Americans are known to love situational comedy. Is that true? I feel like Americans, more than other countries, would be super into comedians and like, you know, punchline jokes and everything. The way I'm saying this, it makes me sound like I'm saying comedians are all by the book, which they're not. There's plenty of comedians that do a lot of, you know, off-kilter shit that do make me laugh a whole lot. There's just a lot that do not. By the way, I am going to wrap this stream up at 10 o'clock, so if you have anything else you want to say, now is the time to say it. I just realized something. Oh, I'm about to be so fucking extra pissed right now. Sick. I was so irritated and mad about Raised by Wolves that I forgot I ordered food, and now it's cold as dog shit. Great. Not my patriotic defensive side coming out. Let me hush, because who is Americans? Patriotic? Why the fuck would you be patriotic for this country? Taste awful. Cool. Are you excited for the My Hero Academia War arc? I still am not caught up on it, so no, but I will be whenever I catch up. It's 1 a.m. here. Well, it's 10 over here. Can you reheat it? I don't think McDonald's really reheats all that well. I do have an air fryer, but I don't think it's gonna work on a cheeseburger. I hope she don't stay as a tree for long. She's done. She's dead. She is now. She's not a tree anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. She's a snake now, so it's over. It's over. Like, that is over. Mukbang hour. Yeah, I don't even really want to eat this. It does not taste good. And that sucks because I'm going to be like violently sick in the morning if I don't eat something right now. I feel like that because usually European people or people from other countries always say Americans when certain things come up, but sometimes it's directed at people of color. Oh. I don't know if that was. Yeah, McDonald's doesn't reheat. McDonald's fries is better frozen and reheated. Are you actually insane? What on earth did you just say to me? The fries are better frozen and reheated. What? I mean, I've seen their whole process just in time. They don't microwave it. And, well, they microwave their eggs. I mean, America is known for their sitcom, which stands for situational comedy. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yes, I'm insane. I kind of agree. Frozen and reheated McDonald's fries. I mean, I'll try it. Then saying American when you mean the U.S. too, because my family is from Caribbeans, which is America. I feel like you're kind of reaching a little bit with that, but yeah. Maybe it is just your local version. Who knows? Wendy's has the best French fries. Let's not start the French fries debate. Everyone will just start resounding off on completely different fries. Reheat in a toaster oven or air fryer, not microwave. Well, yeah, but still, air fryers don't work absolute miracles. Lots of microwaving in the process, lol, or at least used to be. It still tastes good when it's hot. Tastes like actual duty hole when it's not. Like, this shit is hard. That's awful. That's really awful. Fuck. I like have to force myself to eat it too, because I have to eat something. I have a really bad habit of not eating for too long and then get feeling sick and then I can't eat because I feel sick, and then it just spirals and spirals and spirals to a point where I'll go like 2 days without eating. So I need to eat this, and it tastes like dog shit, so that's not very fun. Val, chill the fuck out. I'm being serious. Wendy's is the best fast food place, hands down. It's alright. I like it. Never had American Wendy's, so I can't tell it's very bad here. 3 minutes left. Anything anyone else wants to say before we wrap it up? I apologize for the general vibe of this stream being a little but I mean, y'all say you want me to be as real as possible. This is real. Like, this is my genuine feelings. This is how I am acting for today, so sorry. I used to have the opposite problem. I eat every hour, so I feel I get you. No, you have to chill because you're being an asshole. Chill. It's cool. Just chill. We're here to rant with each other. That's okay. Exactly. For better or worse. Yeah. Well, yeah. The other day I clicked on a Twitter link and never was the same again. Why? Was it like goatsy or something? This was an in-person meeting, there would be lots of hands thrown by now. I probably would have knocked a couple people out at this point, probably. Nah, I'm not a very violent person. It takes a good amount to actually get me to the point where I'll like physically hurt someone. I don't think so. If hands were thrown, I wasn't the first one to throw them. Or that's how it would go, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm such an idiot. I was drinking out of this the whole time, not like clicking in my head. Like, yeah, you have food sitting right there, dumb shit. I appreciate you just in time. I mean, shit, Rami and Justin, like, you two are... Like, you always got my back, which I do thoroughly appreciate. You even have my back now on my other work that I do, which is also nice. Yeah, we're here for each other. It's all good. Yeah, maybe. Alright, it's 10 o'clock. Unfortunately, the stream did not vent out my bad emotions. I still am very much in a bad mood, but it won't last forever. By the next time we do a live stream, next video that I post and everything for you, you will not have this attitude whatsoever. This was definitely a moment where I'm just having a bad day. I'm having a bad day, and my patience is at 0%. So that's it. Alright, not asshole. But yeah, wherever you're at, you know, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever. Hope y'all are having a wonderful whatever time of day it is. And I appreciate you too. Appreciate all of you. Even the assholes. Good night. And that's about it.